Yeah,
we
we're
can say
here.
it's a module. And... Yay!
It might eventually become one, because a lot of the stuff that we've gone through, I've been like tinkering with to eventually turn into an actual like adventure path.
Hey,
That's
there you
fun.
go.
I will illustrate that.
So
Please
we're the
let
test
me
dummies.
Illustrate that.
Yay.
You'll
take it.
With permission. I'll probably use your characters as like various named NPCs.
Please
Amazing.
Good
Please
luck.
do.
Yeah.
Make it optional, like you can go to home and you can spar to train with Leah and her dad, because that needs to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Where it will just pop up and be like absurdly optimistic at everybody, and then run and then vanish again.
I don't know what Velas as an NPC would look like.
Where he'll tell you a story and be very optimistic in your general direction.
I mean, it's easy if they ever find the deck. That's about.
Yeah.
All right. So, I posted a recap in the text chat channel. I don't know if you all saw that, but
I did see that.
Yes.
Quickly summarized for the folks who've joined us on Twitch. It has been a while, but you have been making steady progress through the Underdark towards the Mind Flayer nest that is currently holding Aiden's brother Sarum prisoner. You have come across a abandoned and ruined dwarven city, and after exploring one particular exit out of the city that led to a massive underground lake, you decided to try your luck with a different exit out of the dwarven city, when there were cloakers and ropers and giant subterranean underwater crabs in the underground lake. And so you've made your way back up, and you've camped in the mines below the dwarven city, intending to kind of make your way back up and then across, and then leave the city through another exit, using Velas's familiarity with the Underdark and Aiden's ability to read everything around.
And Nessa is a bitch.
Yes. Also, having contacted his sister Anessa, she has responded in kind. The evenings in which you have camped in or near the city, on and about midnight, you all had heard the sounds of dwarven hammers on anvils, along with occasional dwarven singing to accompany it. All coming from that large forge foundry area that you passed through on your way down. And that is where we pick up. It is roughly morning. Kind of hard to tell in the dark underground. There's no light, but what probably Elias and Wuria produce.
Yay, no dark vision. Oh gosh, I have to go back to no dark vision.
Not just pretending no dark vision.
No, yeah, not just
Morning routine with goggles on. Just
yeah. I'll, cast light on something.
Yeah, I mean, Wuria can also put up light if anyone needs it.
Yeah.
If we need an extra light.
No, the only people that can see clearly in the dark are you and Aiden.
Whereas, like,
I have 150 feet of dark vision.
Yes, but it's dark vision, which means you still have disadvantage on.
Yeah, but I can still see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you're not completely stumbling around.
Clearly
unable
versus
to see.
C. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Until you get an ability that says you can see normally in darkness
Yeah.
and magical
yeah.
darkness, you don't get to talk.
Pernell can also see.
Yeah.
Not quite as far, but
Yeah.
at the same level as you in terms of
Mhm.
the shorter distance. But yeah, no, Wuria will happily be like, I think it's pretty dark down here. Do you guys need an extra? As she sees Elias light something up. Do you guys
Light
need
would
an
be
extra
appreciated.
light?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it.
Is there like a small like rock or pebble or something around that she can pick up
Nope.
and cast light on? Okay. Uh, then
All of the
she'll.
hallways and passageways in the city and mine are extremely clean of dust, dirt,
Oh, right.
debris,
Right. That's
And
right. That's right.
and
I
Wiria,
forgot.
organic matter.
Gelatinous cube.
I will hand Wiria a ball bearing.
Okay. Yeah. She was basically
I
she'll
was-
cast light on the ball bearing and like
Okay.
toss it to Leah.
I was gonna
Um,
say Leah could also just hold her glaive over towards Wiria and then just like sit because she's probably meditating more and she can just sit and hold it and it'll be a little beacon because it's
Yeah. I mean, where I
full.
was thinking that
But
casting light on something small that could be like
Covered
tucked
one?
away if need
Yeah,
be.
That's true.
easily covered and put
Yeah,
out if
that
we
was
need
that
to.
was
That's-
that was where
that's
that
fair.
idea was.
Yeah, actually, I'll-
then yeah, she'll take the ball bearing if you toss it and she'll just
Yeah.
set it
Since
there.
Leah
Coins
can't
work
see
She
so
will
well.
meditate in front of little ball bearing glowing thing.
I'm gonna
I'll just use my mace
Mhm.
as a torch.
I'm gonna just while everyone else is getting up and getting ready and Pernell is doing the routine and everything, just focus on breaking camp and getting rid of like any firewood that we use and stuff like that.
Okay. Leaving no traces.
Yeah.
That's doable. So your best estimate was initially get out through the mines, because you know that dwarven mines would typically reach deep down into the Underdark and could be both an exit from the city and an entrance into lower levels of the Underdark. The paths that you found ended in a destination that you did not want to try. So you're figuring that on the other side of that large chasm is likely another exit, seeing as how dwarves would never have just one entrance and exit into their city that would take you still into the Underdark. But you'll have to navigate your way through the city to get there.
I'm trying to remember because the way we came, we were kind of headed through the forge because we were trying to follow the lava.
Right. Yep. And the mines will take you basically to that level of the city. Is that forge area? It's kind of like a large complex, all centered around that one massive hall. And from there you can get to elsewhere in the city. It's not that difficult to being an experienced tracker along with Leah's assistance to make your way back up through the mines. It is silent, other than your own footsteps and breathing. And again, the ground and walls and everything have been completely scoured clean of anything organic. All that's left is just rough stone. You can see in a lot of places cracks and fissures and whatnot that have been worn down. That what seems sort of edges have been smoothed over by the passage of lots of something. Seems things, the gelatinous cubes you've seen before, have really swept through everything. The forge area itself, there are channels that look where the lava flow would be directed. But the large forges themselves, the massive chambers where they would, concentrate heat, are all just bare stone. And you can see, details, especially in this area, of carvings and things in relief. But anything that would be loose rock or dust or dirt, organic matter, or metal is all gone. And the only thing is just bare stone, kind of everywhere you turn and look. It's kind of eerie just how empty and hollow all these halls are. And when you make your way finally to the uppermost level of the city where that large amphitheater and that large chasm was, and you begin to sort of cross one of those large bridges to the other side of the city, let me pull up my character spreadsheet because I know that a bunch of you have really high passive perceptions and pretty much always see everything. Let's see. There we go. So that would definitely be Elias and Wuria. As you're making your way across one of those bridges, the light that you have really does not shine very far, considering how massive this particular chamber is that houses this chasm. It looks like it's actually a very large natural crevice, but you catch sort of a glint, like a reflection, off of one of the bridges that's a little bit lower, on like a lower level in the chasm, and you can see that the stone all around you does not reflect light at all. You just get this dull, light against it. But you can see down below something seems to be glinting and reflecting off of the light. And it's difficult to see, but when everyone kind of peering and looking down closely at it, you can see that it looks almost as if the entire bridge running the length of the chasm, probably a good 150 feet away and down below, is almost glistening. Like the whole thing is just covered in some kind of reflective material. And you can see by the shifting reflection that it's moving. And from here,
You're not talking, Terusha.
Sorry, I was muted.
But with it being so far away, and it's really just almost like a very slight twinkling of reflection.
Hey, fly closer down there for me, please. I want to get a look at whatever that is.
All right.
Something wrong.
Wuria looks through Brightwing's eyes to see.
Okay.
Something wrong, Wuria.
Brightwing kind of coasts down slowly, and now Brightwing can see. Brightwing has dark vision, and you can see because of the light that you have. As Brightwing gets closer and closer to this bridge, you can see the reflection of that light. And it looks like the entire bridge is covered in just this massive, singular, amorphous mass of semi-transparent jelly. And as Brightwing gets closer, you can see that it's got like almost a metallic tinge to it, like a sort of burnished copper look to it.
That's a little unnerving.
Brightwing can see it extends both directions, and it's kind of shifting and moving.
What is it?
There's some sort of, jelly is the best word I can come up with.
Can
It's
I
moving,
take a look?
and it looks sort of copper down on that bridge below.
Yeah, I want to look down.
Yeah.
Coating everything down there.
It's not directly downwards. It's like down and away. It's about 150 feet away. It's probably, I would say, 100 to 150. Put it right about in the middle, which would be beyond the 100. You see 120 feet?
150 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 150.
So, it's at the very edge, but it looks like a just massive jelly, probably a foot tall, the entire width of the bridge, which is it's not as big as the one that you're on. Like one of the ones that you're on are like some of the one of the major bridges that cross this chasm for people to kind of traverse back and forth. It's probably a good 20-30 feet wide. That one looks more like a sort of like a footpath. So it's only about 10 feet wide, but a good 60 to 80 feet long.
Anything?
But it covers the whole thing.
Any
going-
idea of what that might be?
It looks like it's some kind of ooze or slime, but you've never seen anything that had that sort of translucent metallic coloration.
I haven't seen them like that. We should just keep an eye out and more of them.
All right.
From what Brightwing can see,
Is
it
there anything
goes.
that I can identify?
It's nothing that's aberration based.
Okay.
And it's without like going and examining it and looking at much
Mhm.
closer, it's hard to really do anything other than just kind of recognize what it is. But Brightwing does report that it extends in both directions as far as she can see. She's keeping a good like 30 feet away from it too.
Yeah. Yeah, where you would not tell her
Yeah.
to fly up right up to this weird ass jelly. I mean, I suppose we just keep an eye out and hope for the best. Brightwing, go ahead and
Try
come
to
back.
avoid
Thank
it.
you.
More than happy to.
We know at least what to look for if there's something like it on the other side.
Weird metallic jelly is not really what I wanted to find down here, but
Oh. Finding a lot of things down here have not been
Doesn't
super
seem like
fun at all.
something that'll point us in the right direction, so we don't necessarily have to go looking for it.
Yeah.
Try to avoid it all the same.
lots of weird jellies and oozes down here, I think.
Yes, which I would rather love to avoid, honestly.
We should.
Generally better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep moving.
The path seems fairly clear, even with some passages destroyed.
Hey, Dorglard, thank you.
And a lot of what would be signage or engravings and writing worn down. A significant amount of the city is still
I'm gonna
easy
make
to
those
follow.
higher.
It's a
Jeez.
dwarven city. It's laid out in a very sort of consistent, logical manner,
Like New
very
York.
orderly. This particular culture makes heavy use of repeating patterns in its architecture, and there seems to be a particular repeating pattern of the use of six. Oftentimes, large central chambers are hexagonally shaped with six passageways leading off. A lot of the massive flagstone floor tiles are hexagon in shape. And when you reach what you would probably deem to be perhaps one of the central crossroads, the sort of city center, you might guess. It's similarly a very, very tall sort of geodesic dome, but hexagonal in size, with passageways leading off in each direction, some kind of moving upwards, some moving downwards, and then two that are kind of straight on. There are a number of remaining notations that Aiden and anyone else who can read Dwarvish can read.
I don't think I can.
I'm pretty sure there's just like one of you besides Aiden. Yeah, Elias. But basically, there's like the Hall of Heroes, the Hall of Records, the Hall of Kings in three of the different directions. One area, two areas that are sort of denoted towards like where you came from is towards the
forge.
forges, the forge foundry. Yes, thank you. But then there's still sort of like one area that's indicates it's like the particular
What's the other direction that leads downward?
there's the ones that go upward are sort of like residential area this way, kind of. And then the where you come from is kind of straight on. Straight ahead is labeled as the Hall of Kings, and then the two that go down, one is the Hall of Heroes, and is the Hall of Records. One goes downwards in kind of the westerly direction that you're going, and the other one is downwards and opposite direction.
Which way was towards the amphitheater? Is that pretty straight?
The amphitheater is where you came from.
Which is the direction we were going? Which one? What is it?
So either you can go straight through to the Hall of Kings, or you can go forward and down, which is Hall of Heroes.
And then down and
those
back
two are
is
the
Hall of
Records.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something would tell me that a Hall of Heroes would be sort of a tomb of sorts.
I would say either some kind of training hall or a tomb, a mausoleum. Something.
Yeah,
One or the other.
either that or
statues?
Kings are
Lots
looking
of
like the
statues?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
I mean, that could also be.
most likely.
It could also be a mausoleum with lots of statues, actually.
Or,
But
That would be, well, that would be
Well,
at
since
least
Heroes is the one that
further
heads
down.
down, that's my choice.
I mean, we are trying to go down.
That seemeth most likely to go further down. At least in the direction we probably wish to go.
And given the state of everything here, I doubt the Hall of Records has anything useful for us.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
There are no records left of this place.
I say, if there are any records left.
If there are, then that would actually be very interesting. I'd be quite curious, but
Not immediately relevant.
All of Heroes
you're not wrong.
Here's it is.
All of Heroes.
Okay.
Like Leah's like, it's all Greek to me.
You
What
progress
are these
further.
records? You mean stories? Okay.
What is this Greek you speak of?
The chamber slopes down at a very precise angle. A lot of the hallways on this side of the chasm are heavily damaged. You can see both from what looks to be cave-ins and or possibly even physical damage. But there's no debris, again, because everything seems to have been subsumed and cleaned away. But you traverse downwards, following the clearly labeled Dwarven road signs as appropriate, until you emerge into a similarly massive chamber as the one that had the amphitheater and the chasm. Only this one stretches upwards, probably 60, 70 feet. And you can see it stretches probably beyond everyone's sight, well over 100 feet down. And along the sides, you can see massive, massive stone statues of dwarves of various accountances, armors, poses, and it's basically like the Dwarven Hall of Heroes. And running along the center is a looks like it's a recessed area that may have at one point been like a reflecting pool or something like that, but at this point is just sort of dry. But you can see just the statues themselves are probably 30 to 40 feet tall. Roughly everything about 10 times the scale of your average dwarf. And much like the rest of the city, here you can see just significant damage to the statues themselves. Some of them even have large sections that have fallen. And this is probably the first time that you've seen anything where there could be considered debris. But it's sort of like, debris that is massive in size. Small bits, little bits of stone or whatnot, or dust would be gone. But in some places, large chunks of these statues have broken off and have fallen. And anything that's probably larger than, anything that's like bigger than like a 10-foot cube-ish is intact and on the ground, but smoothed over for sure. And a lot of detail is missing from a significant amount of the statues. Almost like you might expect like rain on stone over time. You can see channels that, may at once have been very, very fine details or just sort of hollowed out and worn down.
Signs of slimes or ooze.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping an eye out for that.
Yeah.
Y'all can go ahead and make some perception checks as you slowly make your way through this very, very long
27.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
14.
12.
Nope.
15.
Okay. So there isn't, unless you have a particular fascination with dwarven culture or ancient
natural 20.
architecture, there isn't really a whole lot to notice. But as you make your way through this large chamber.
So I got a 25 because I forgot I have advantage on perception checks.
Hey.
Okay. When you get about halfway across, you can see in the center of the reflecting pool, sort of like a fountain of sorts. And very, very, very distinctly, and you can see it as you get closer, it reflects a little bit of light. It's just a single spider draped across part of the fountain.
That's really unnerving. Does anyone else see that?
Yeah, I see it.
And the people who rolled high see it almost instantly and can readily point it out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to reflexively walk over and just stab it.
Whoa.
I don't give a shit.
Okay. So this is the kind of web
I'm
that
not
would be
surprised,
created by like a small spider. This is not like humongous spider, 6 strands. This is like a thin little
It's just a
web thing.
So you squish it?
Squish it. Just with a pommel.
Yes.
Yeah, you just wipe it away. But you can see standing up there is what looks to be a hole or a source of what might at one point have been water for this fountain, which leads into this reflecting pool. And as everyone gets a little bit closer, since you advanced forward, you can see light reflecting a little bit off of a small shape in that source, possibly of a spider.
How big is the hole?
Well, it's probably like that big.
Oh.
So the spider would be like the size of a hand. Big for,
Big for a spider.
small spider.
That's like tarantula.
A small spider
size.
the size of a big spider.
I'm still stabbing it.
I have questions.
I mean, it's in a hole.
Can we...
I have a very narrow dagger that I will throw in the hole at it.
Okay. Not one of your special daggers, right? Just like an actual plain old simple dagger?
I think I still have a plain dagger.
You could use an arrow too.
I could use an arrow. I'll just use an arrow.
I know you gave Elias one.
I
so.
know. Yeah.
Like you're actually going to throw an arrow at it.
I will do. I just want to kill the spider.
Okay. Well, your first instinct is to probably grab a dagger and throw it. And I'm assuming you're not going to throw one of your magic daggers down a hole that you can't see the bottom of. So just make an attack roll.
Ah, shit. I dropped that. Okay. So it'd be plus 10, so that's 24.
Okay. You throw it particularly hard, and you can hear sort of a splorch, a satisfying splorch as the dagger, impales the spider, and embeds itself a little bit into what just so happens to be a crack in the stonework there in the supply hole. And there's sort of like a splatter of spider ichor, but it kind of starts pooling and like bubbling and kind of coming up and out and then pouring down the side a little bit.
That's
Not
even
supposed to do that.
nerfing.
Nellis.
And it's
Take
sort
a
of like
step
this
back.
kind of like a deep a very, very deep purple color.
I assume
Decidedly
Underdark
not
spiders
spider blood
don't
anymore.
usually do that.
Not
I've never seen Underdark spiders, but normal spiders don't do that.
Normal
so I
spiders
assume
don't do
Underdark
that.
No,
spiders
no,
don't
it's
do
not normal.
Yeah.
And it's beginning to sort of drip down and pool, and it's not falling like just due to gravity. It's pooling and pouring down, and there seems to
Is there
almost
an
be like
exit to this
intention.
room?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I was
the way
curious
you
about.
came and the way ahead.
I'm gonna
But
keep walking.
as you step away, the liquid begins to coalesce and begin to take a shape, kind of like bloop, 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 bloop.
Goody.
And
Blades out
it
immediately.
rises up, and you can see at first it's sort of an amorphous mass, but it slowly begins to coalesce into a large form of a female drow woman.
This
About
tracks for
7
what I
feet
rolled
tall.
earlier.
Yeah. Elias is gonna like interpose himself, shield out, interposing himself between as many people as he can in this
Okay.
whatever is happening right now.
Yes, 7 next to Elias.
Yeah.
The form begins to solidify, and you can see it is a tall, powerfully built drow woman. Impossibly tall. Drow aren't typically 7 feet tall, but this one is.
So it's almost as tall as me. Wow.
Yeah.
Almost.
And Velis,
Wow.
this, other than probably being about 2.5 feet too tall, looks to be the spitting image of Anessa, dressed in very slinky, Spider Queen-esque robes and finery, with appropriate.
Does creepy giant
notes of
Anessa
stations.
resemble Velis in a way that other people would make that connection?
The giant woman. The giant
I mean,
woman.
considering it's a thing
can-
made out of purple.
I mean, yeah,
liquid,
Yeah.
Elias can probably put
Slime Anessa.
Connect to Anessa, like I
It's,
mean,
the form is solidified and is no longer made up of like a purple, kind of thing. Think Odo Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
okay,
Just
good,
a lot
yeah,
better at
good
controlling
image.
her form. So it starts off as sort of an amorphous mass and eventually becomes this tall, very real looking dark elf woman who is sort of cocking her head to the side and looking very bemused at Velis.
What the fuck do you want?
I only want to help, dear brother.
You don't want to push me.
Oh, you're moving with bullheaded speed towards your destination. There's no need to push you. But I am here to offer help. And she kind of like
I'm gonna
turns
take
to all the rest of you.
my elven throwing spike and throw it at her.
Okay. She makes no move to dodge it, and it just sort of like sinks into the form. And where it enters, it's kind of like you can see it just goes, and there's a ripple of like the form itself is not flesh and blood. It is this weird amorphousness. But it just kind of goes, and it's just kind of like sticking in her. She's like, must we really be so rude? Our mother taught you so much better. And it just sort of like slowly oozes back out and then falls to the floor, just sort of like clatters.
Either way, I believe
come
Velis hath
with an-
answered your question.
We don't need your help.
Are you sure? You do know where you're going and what it is that you face.
We're aware.
The creatures down there, you faced individual.
They have.
But the mind
I
that
know what
centers
we're
them
walking
all.
into.
Once you leave this city, you will be close enough that it will be able to sense you, feel you, get into your head. And it's even at your surprising speed through here. Take you at least another day to get down there.
What are you offering?
And she turns her hand over, and you can see a ring. Looks like a spider.
Don't take anything from her.
And sort of bubbling up from her hand are a total of 7 rings, one for each of you. A charm against its mental influence.
Aiden, it's not worth it.
Why would you
Whatever she
offer these
says,
to us?
it's not worth it.
There must be
Are you
something that
willing
you
to
gain
bet my
from
brother's
this.
life on it?
I'm willing to bet that we are capable enough without her.
Leah is
And I'm not
temporarily
saying that
ignoring those
lightly.
two and is asking Anissa, thinking, why would you offer these to us? There must be something you would gain in return.
The satisfaction that we took her help.
I
Now
don't think
there's
that
a
that
smart
is
boy.
enough payment for her.
Let's
You'd
just
be
say that my
surprised.
brother,
Yeah, I think you'd be
despite being as proficient as he is somewhat of a blunt instrument.
Don't pretend you.
I would hardly call Velis blunt.
Hunt is not
Effective, if it can be pointed in the right direction.
Well,
And
luckily,
in this
pointing
particular
people in the
case,
right direction is my job.
I like the direction he's going. I just want to make sure that the weapon reaches its target. Hence the offer of my aid.
We don't need you. Go back to your hole and don't come out. Consider that only warning that I'm going to give you. I am not the person who left. And if you think that I am, that's your mistake.
You can put on a brave face, but you're still the scared little boy hiding behind his sister's skirt. the monsters in the dark.
Two monsters.
Do any of you
What?
wish
Any
to
of-
take my offer of aid?
I think
It does-
Elias is
Although
like,
it's really quite ineffective. I mean, once the creature below senses one of you, well, it'll know you're all coming. So really, it's on you. Do you wish to approach with the element of surprise, the cloak of secrecy, the advantage on your side? Or spurn the obvious assistance that you need as you blunder your way deeper towards something that you only think you can possibly understand?
Can I insight her to see whether like this is just like
yeah,
the
also insight.
it's what
definitely
Aiden was
didn't want
saying,
to
and it's
do it.
just like her trying to get
Also,
Because I feel like
satisfaction
Leah's
from it.
still
You can
suspecting
certainly.
Mm,
during this,
she
Elias
has ulterior motives.
has started like playing with a little bit of like radiant fire
Mm-hmm.
across, just like rolling it across his
Right.
finger, like you
10.
would have
Fairly
formed.
unfazed.
14 for
Oh.
insight.
That's not good. 12.
damn.
Yeah, I rolled a 2.
She seems to be
I mean, my passive witness
very
is
much an
fire.
older sibling who disparages her younger brother, but she's offering these.
Leah's just going to turn to Velis and say,
Totally suspicious person, so
I will follow whatever decision you make.
We don't. I trust us to get this.
Then that is enough for me.
I don't
I
think
have
your
reasons.
word is the one that holds the most weight here right now.
No, but that is. She asked each of us individually.
And why would
essentially.
you think that she can offer anything real?
Oh, it's entirely real.
I
She
was
kinda,
not
like-
Check it.
talking to you.
She tosses one of them,
real, but
sort of like gently flicks it in Worria's direction. Not at you, but so that it lands in front of you. You look like you might know a little bit about arcane magic. You tell me.
Where
If
looks
there's
at
anything
Velis.
insidious about it. Or if it is what I say it is. And if I'm being forthright.
Where looks at Velis. She's not going to do anything unless Velis wants her to.
Leah's
She
just
kinda
going to
shrugs.
look at her and say, I do not believe your truthfulness is the issue here. The issue here is that Velis left home and has grown on his own, and you can't let him go. You need to stop hindering your brother's growth.
I'm not hindering him at all. I'm offering aid. She sort of like
I
holds out
see
her
a
hand
meddling
again.
sister cannot let go of her brother's hand. You say you see him hiding behind you? You're the one chasing after him. Who's really hiding behind who? Leah flexing her charisma that I often don't flex.
Yee.
I'm like, I have charisma, I can say things.
flex that paladin charisma.
Yeah.
Well, little brother, don't say I didn't at least attempt. She sort of closes her hand and the rings disappear, and the one that was on the ground in front of Worria just sort of like unfurls, crawls its way back to her, and just kind of like melds
That's
in with her foot.
That's weird.
Yeah, that where's got like a that. Well, that's not
Like,
her
no.
ring look on her face. Rings shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'll worry about that. Takes a side glance at Aiden when that happens, though.
Aiden does not look happy.
Yeah, figured.
If you do insist on going down without my aid, you might not want to sleep.
Muted.
Not muted.
No,
Nope.
I'm frozen.
Oh,
Oh no,
You said
you're okay.
Kristen said something, but I couldn't hear her.
Said,
My
"We'll be
my
fine."
roll 20 just froze, so I might crash.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But that's okay because really it's primarily audio. But I'll
I mean, I've
refresh
been
roll
doing
20.
camera for a while.
I still
Oh,
see
wait.
it. Oh, now I
Oh,
don't see it anymore.
No, I don't.
Okay.
oh, yep.
Ah!
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
But yeah, she
That went from a request for aid to a threat.
oh no. I am certainly not threatening you. I'm simply telling you that the closer that you get, the more dangerous it becomes. The more powerful it becomes. They become.
We are not as naive as you.
You're the one who refused my aid. They'll see you coming the moment you leave the city. They'll know exactly who you are. They'll know exactly what you can do. They'll know exactly where you will be.
Handle it.
For your sake, I hope that's true. She shrugs sort of one final time and just begins to slowly dissolve into that sort of deep purple and kind of just not really going anywhere, just sort of like what started out as a larger amorphous mass just kind of shrinks a little bit until there's not really anything. And give me another moment because this is, yeah, like Chrome just crashed, and if Chrome crashes, like my 12 windows with all of my notes
Oh no.
also crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, chat. You have to see two of me for a second since I'm in Brendan's place at the moment.
Replay pause.
Yep, that's a big old crash. All right,
Everybody's
give me a
off
second.
center. It's okay.
Oh no.
I can
Alright.
move it individually, but it's probably just easier for him to get
Oh
back.
no.
Well, in which case, whoa, you're mirrored, and that's really funny.
I know, right? I can have
I will
that
be right
myself.
back
Wait.
while-
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Brennan's
Are you're
resetting
trying
that.
to
There you go.
Well, okay. As soon as we get back, I have a thing I wanted to do once. As soon as she
backwards
was
on my own
gone.
screen.
Yes.
There you are.
All right, it's all kind of coming back. Coming back.
Oh, coming back.
The second that she finishes sort of dissolving,
Thanks,
Velis
Tommy.
is just gonna kind of sit right where he was standing. Just
Yeah.
I'd
also,
ask if you're okay, Velis, but I think the answer to that one is no.
Well, I don't. Okay, this. I don't know how this work. So, as soon as she is finished dissolving,
Mm-hmm.
which is not
It's
a
just a
phrase I
sentence.
thought I'd ever say. But, hey, I was gonna do try a divine intervention. And
Okay.
I just rolled for it, and I have a I rolled 2 zeros and a 1. Does that mean it worked?
What?
I think so.
I think
think
that
it's
means you
all
rolled
one.
a one.
I think that
That's a one.
That means it worked.
I was gonna ask for protection against the whatever elder brain thing, like for us to be cloaked from the mind flayer.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Divine cloaking, better than those silly rings.
The creepy ass spider rings that spidered.
Yep.
Oh shit!
Um,
Believe in us who believes in
I
you!
can take a picture to prove that this is what
Sarah
Take
Ray
a picture of this.
provides!
I want to see that.
Sarah
I
Ray
mean,
provides,
I would say
motherfucker!
just take a picture in general.
Just because what?
'Cause
You
that's
rolled
impressive.
a divine intervention.
Because you rolled like the lowest you can
Yeah.
roll, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That's good
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah, because if you roll all zeros, it's 100.
It's 100,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was all right. So let me take a look at divine intervention, the spell.
Yeah, because this has never
Or
worked
the
before.
ability.
Yeah,
Oh, it's an ability.
it's an
Yeah,
ability.
it's
It's not
an
actually a
ability.
spell. Come on, focus,
Alright.
kid. Phone.
My computer's still like trying to load up. Let's see.
Well, I guess now-
Intervention.
We only have to deal with slightly grumpy Aiden for a little while instead of just pissed off Aiden.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. The DM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any cleric spell or cleric domain spell would be appropriate.
See, yeah, you can see it. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
I'm freaking out a little bit.
All right. So
Now I can't use this for 7 days.
she
So we need to
dissolves.
remember
But
that.
hey,
But hey.
that is worth it.
Not
But
for lack
hey.
of trying.
Yeah, that was worth it.
And you sort of whisper a quiet prayer. And you've done this a couple of times. Both, I think, requesting help from the Raven Queen and from Sarah. And
Yeah. Or, no, actually, no. I'd never done it with the Raven Queen.
You never done it with the Raven Queen? Oh,
Because it's a level 10 ability.
Mm.
Ah, okay, right.
So yeah, I've only recently been able to do it. And yes, it was on the dispel dice.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's still just sort of, it looks almost like a bit of slimy residue left where Anessa had been standing. And there's a sort of flare from Elias's mace that he's been using as a light spell. And it sort of gets brighter. Like, oh, it's bright. And then it gets brighter and brighter to the point where it's actually almost becoming somewhat difficult to look at. And you can hear sort of a sizzling hiss as that residue that was left by Anessa begins to just burn away. And
Nice.
eventually it becomes so bright that everyone kind of has to shield their eyes from it. And you're all sort of left blinking a little bit with spots behind your eyes as it kind of eventually begins to dim again. And standing nearby, you can see an outline of a golden spectral form of what looks to be a dwarf, clad in simple robes, bearing the symbol of Sarenrae around his neck.
Does it look like the dwarf from the version?
I don't think that was a male.
Yeah.
I was
No,
a-
not,
that's
not
a
that
That was
dwarf.
also Melora,
This is
not
just-
Saren Ray.
Just sort of
I
a
just heard
very
dwarf.
dwarvy looking dwarf. And it's interesting because the only person who can understand what he says is Elias.
Yeah. I'm the only one that actually speaks Dwarvish.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And he kind of like nods his head at you. She has heard your call, even in the dark. You go where there is darkness that she may not be able to bring light. And he kind of like holds out his holy symbol and begins sort of casting, sort of chanting a prayer. But through you, you can bring her light to the darkness below. And she can shield you and your ally. There is deep evil. And through you, she will scour it from the depth. And you can see, as he finishes his incantation, there's just sort of this light, warm, golden glow as like this halo begins to sort of circle around you a little bit. For a moment, kind of like sparking into life, and then it fades from view. And then around each other person, a halo, glowing bright, and then dimming again and going invisible. For one day, she can shield you from the eyes of the evil below. Notably, Phyla did not get a halo, nor did Brightwing.
Okay. Maria
Just-
can always dismiss them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they can be balanced.
Just
Well,
the
Nessa wasn't
people-
giving us rings for that either, so.
And he sort of looks about. It has been a long time since any of her faithful walked these halls. It is not safe here. He kind of turns, and you can see sort of like golden light begin to illuminate each of the statues. And the further down the hall, the more and more you can see collapsed stone fallen in on itself. And at the very end, you can see the other side is just completely collapsed in stone. Whatever entrance was there is gone through a complete cave-in. But there's a brighter glow off to the side. It is not safe here. Take the light of Sarenrae with you. And farewell. I should hope to perhaps hear your story one day. He kind of slowly nods to each of you and turns and just kind of begins to his form begins to sort of fade out, kind of like a just motes of
Hey,
light.
thanks for the lark.
He pauses, and as he's almost completely faded, he looks to the fountain, and you hear this sort of gurgle. And then he looks to all of you before he eventually fades away.
The hell it was, but okay.
There's another gurgling sound.
We must go.
What?
And sort of coming up out is a sort of a tendril of translucent coppery slime that sort of and it just begins pouring out
Go.
and
Gotta
pouring
We should go.
out.
Okay.
And within a moment it begins to completely take over the fountain and just begin to spread, and then as you all move away from it, it
What's
shifts
the bright
and it
light?
begins to follow you.
Is pushed like
and
falling alive.
Already the glowing lights that sort of illuminated the hall all begin to sort of dim as you move down the hall, and
I'm
it's
just-
picking up speed after you.
Gonna say Velas is probably near the back since he was sitting.
Mhm.
Would take a
Mhm.
second.
Okay.
Pick him.
Yeah, right.
Like, come on, we
Go.
gotta
The dagger that was sort of stabbed into the side of the pipe where you stabbed the spider was like kind of pulled up with it, and you can see it's already beginning to completely dissolve.
Fun fact, that was my last dagger from home.
Hey. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
And
Last
probably
dagger from
within
oddly enough.
Actually, I think yeah.
That you have one.
Yeah.
That was the last one I
Okay.
had.
Wasn't sure if that was one.
about 10 seconds, it's gone. You can just see like almost trace elements of what was the metal and the leather kind of beginning to just dissipate into the body of this large slime.
We found the rust monster, you guys.
Yep, let's go. So that did it look like the lights were indicating another exit? Is that what
They were indicating another
Okay.
exit,
That's
actually.
what I'm going for the like, come on.
Yeah,
Right.
we're going that way.
Yep.
So you rush that way.
This way.
As long as you all kind of at least move faster than your standard movement speed, like a light jog, you can keep ahead of this thing. It can't move twice in a round like you can if you were to break it down. So you can definitely put some distance between you and it. It's not just a single amorphous form. The slime is spreading to basically consume like the entirety of the floor of this chamber, and it just is continuing to pour out of this fountain. But as you're running down this hall, you can see the lights kind of beginning to fade as Elias passes them. And sort of at the very end of the hall, tucked behind one of the last statues, where there is so it's kind of like a small opening underneath some fallen rubble. You can see just by the time you get to the end of the hall, the lights have all dimmed down, and the only source of light is what you carry, and a very small dim yellow glow that's kind of like below this rubble that you can see.
Yeah, I'm making a beeline for that.
Yeah, you'll all have to get
Waving
down and
everyone
probably
over.
crawl your way through to get underneath this rubble.
Fun.
Okay.
With Elias leading the way, you kind of crawl through in the stone, and there's sort of a small
go
area
last.
You'll go last? Okay. There's a small area where it looks like a large piece of a statue had fallen against the wall and left kind of a void. And you can see just the faintest hint of what looks like light coming underneath what you might see like a door, but it's just the stone wall itself.
That's odd.
Yeah. And as Aiden, you're the last one to kind of get into this space, and there's enough space for all of you to kind of crowd in. It's a little bit tighter than the hut, but you can see written in Dwarven runes. Only you actually can see it, Aiden, because it's not something that Elias would be able to recognize, but because you can read all writing, this is basically a secret
And I'm the
door.
architecture guy too.
And
Yeah.
you're the architecture guy, and you have a passive investigation of 21.
The
Because you're basically like, oh hey, look, it's a dwarven secret door.
Hey.
Seek friend and enter.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Aiden, you're not quite sure how it opens, but Elias, you have this sort of this instinctive like intuition, and you literally speak friend and enter kind of thing. In this particular case, it's a dwarven passphrase that just kind of comes unbidden to your mind, and when you say it, you can see the door or a doorway form, like there wasn't a doorway there. Whatever this is, it's magical in nature, and the wall basically just kind of like slides down, and as it does, there's this rush of very stale air whooshing out of this chamber. Whatever it is had not been open for a very long time. Aiden, you can now hear the sound of the sort of slurping sound of that slime beginning to get close. It's still a little bit away because you're all able to run much faster than it, but it's definitely getting close. The doorway is fully open, and it's just a dark passage beyond. Ruria, Aiden, you don't really see anything. It's just dark.
Let's get
Well,
moving.
Yep, let's go.
Going.
Okay. All right. So you all rush into this passageway, and It's dark.
How thick does the doorway look?
It's probably about a foot thick.
Okay.
And as you all move into it, you're carrying light with you, and so it's just dark in front, and then eventually it shuts down behind you, and you can see sort of a flaring light from this side of a number of dwarven runes. Kind of they flare to life and then dissipate again as you've stepped through. And then it's just a single stone passage that's kind of it's not straight cut. It's kind of almost like trapezoidal in nature. But it just leads on ahead. After a few moments, now for Aiden and Wuria, you can see perfectly fine in darkness. So you can see behind you where the
Yeah, I'm
the
definitely
doorway
keeping an eye
was.
behind us.
And it's
You can
solid.
totally name the baby Thomas.
And you're guessing only a few more moments before that slime catches up and gets
Thank
to
you
where
so
that
much for
that was.
holy shit.
But
Good to see
ahead,
you.
you only see darkness. It just keeps on going.
No,
Right
it's
about the
fine.
time you get too far away
Elias
from
rolled
the
a
door
1
to
on a
continue
divine
seeing
intervention.
it,
That's the best you can roll.
there doesn't seem to be any evidence of anything coming through. In front of you, the darkness quickly gives way to a low lit chamber. This chamber is similarly constructed as all of the ones that you have been through thus far, but decidedly different in this particular chamber. Whereas before you saw sort of what looked to be carved relief in the stonework, in the statuary, in the whatnot, here that relief is actually filled with fine filigree of all sorts of various metals. They all tend towards the warmer copper, brass, and bronze. And you can see that the metal runs through, framing each of the hexagonal tiles of this path in front of you. The path that's raised, you see these hexagons on this space. I'll pull everybody's focus to the middle. It looks like it's like a stone path with metal inlay forming this hexagon tile pattern. These two massive 25-foot tall dwarf statues framing on either side are bedecked in similar filigree. While they do seem to be made of stone, a significant amount of their makeup is actually made of a number of these metals. They appear to be brass, bronze, copper, even traces of gold, but the intricacy in which they're crafted isn't anything like you've ever seen. The platform, the walkway that you're on is raised up about 4 inches, and carved into the stone of the floor is a large relief. It looks like, when you're looking at it from the right angle, the stone carving looks like the perspective of as if you're in a tall chamber with multiple floors beneath you. And you can see a branching pathway below you, and then below that, another branching pathway. Except the ground is solid and it's made of stone. But it's relief carved in that void area. Across the way, you can see 3 passages. Similarly, dwarven engravings. No writing here. It's just sort of very Art Deco stylized carvings frame each of the doorways. They seem equal in size, shape, and lack of decoration. And you all have entered and are standing on this main platform here. Phyla has currently been dismissed.
Yes, yeah, I dismissed Phyla and Brightwing.
Right.
Brightwing I can like snap in an instant. Phyla requires a spell slot.
Right. There doesn't seem to be any sound or evidence of that copper slime behind you.
Well, which of
Can I
these ways do we
tell-
go?
Yeah. Can
Yeah.
I tell at all what the purpose of this chamber is, or if it's just kind of a crossroads?
Go ahead and make a history check.
I assume none of this looks familiar to me. This is still before my time.
16.
Your guess is that this is possibly some sort of defensive fortification.
My token reminded me I'm rolling temp HP.
Unlike everything else that you've seen, this looks intact. And from what you can tell, the same filigree and inlaid metal you would have seen elsewhere in the city. But this chamber has remained untouched by whatever it is that removed or eliminated all the rest of that. This seems... Dwarves very rarely build shortcuts into their cities because, well, that's not a very good defensive fortification. And if they do have secret ways, they're often very carefully defended. The two dwarven statues on either side, one of them looks to be wielding a massive crossbow, and the other one a massive maul. And they're intricately detailed. You're guessing that there's very likely some level of defense about this.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
keep an eye out for any traps.
Switches, pressure plates,
Wards.
or yeah.
Waria pops up detect magic when he says wards.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
Aria.
The two statues are heavily enchanted,
Hella
like
magical.
in hella magic. But also the
Hella magic.
The passageway that you came through has an unusual aura that is close to conjuration, but it's not something that you've encountered before. It's like, you don't have a wizard's understanding of magic. It's very innate and kind of off the cuff. So
one day I said something mean to a goblin and it got hurt.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't quite understand some of the underpinnings of what it is that you're sensing, but you sense that there's some magic about that passageway and that doorway.
Well,
if you're a wizard, or
Hi! Thanks so much
other
for the
some
raid! How was your
arcane
stream?
sage training, you might
We just had a
you
divine
feel that
intervention on a 1 on a divine
would
intervention.
know
It was
more.
fucking awesome.
the way we came in is magic.
How's it
and
going,
weird.
friends? Welcome to our campaign. Hey, Rio.
I don't. Yeah. Those two things really, 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 really magic.
There is
There's
the
a lot more words.
chance
No, it's
that
fine.
we will be able
Welcome,
to
Raiders.
get past it without any
Glad to
problems
have
since
you.
we're coming from inside the city and not trying to breach it.
Yeah, but
Allow me
But
to
all the
introduce you while I'm
same.
trying to focus. I'm sorry.
Still be careful.
careful is a good. Yeah.
Was there any kind of indication where these other doorways lead?
Writing thing on
It's
there.
no writing at all. It's just dark. Just a dark passage similar to what you see when you look behind you. But the chamber itself has sort of like a low level ambient lighting. Everything is sort of very warmly colored here. I'm not quite sure where it's coming from. It's sort of a sourceless light. But you can see the entire chamber very clearly.
Well, Pathfinder, feel like
Yeah.
taking a stab at pointing us in the right direction?
I mean, I can try.
Can
Is
I?
there something I can do to figure that out? I don't know.
Can I
This
assist?
is so
Aiden,
out.
when he
You are
says
so
that,
out
his
of your
voice
element.
is just kind of laced with that.
There is
Resting
nothing
Kappa
about this
face.
environment that
Still not
is
over
at all
that
familiar.
previous series of events, even though we got lucky out
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. It's fair.
Yeah, like there's still maybe that moment to even sort of deal with when Elias like summoned the ghost of some long dead dwarf priest and it talked to him, and then everybody had halos. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
I mean,
we just accepted it.
so we're still in this room thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're at the
Yeah.
bottommost portion of the room.
We have a three-way decision. Pick a
Yeah.
door.
I mean, we can
I
just
mean,
pick a door or.
I don't know.
Continue forward. That seemeth to be what we are doing so far.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see having grown up in city, not dwarven cities, but I don't see anything that would indicate any kind of like street sign direction. Like, there's nothing.
If there was,
Um,
I'd probably be able to read it.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just that there's nothing or no indication. It's that and Aiden, you could probably just surmise this. Of course, whether or not you share it with the group is, up to you. But the room is intentionally symmetrical and featureless and word like signless.
It's
This
the
is
confusion
intended.
premise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is intentionally meant to be an obstacle of some kind.
I
He's not saying
mean,
anything.
Elias, do you have a way of augury?
God, I double check. I nope.
Or Velis, your sense.
Whatever.
Yeah. I hate to ask you to do that.
I mean, I don't think that's a good idea.
Actually, do we know what the thing
Yeah.
was? Well,
I mean,
Do you have an idea of
as
what-
we were running or something? Elias
I
would have
mean, now,
explained.
yeah. Now that we've
If we had time.
paused, yeah.
Mm.
Like,
But it's still
I mean,
quiet.
we're
There's always eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
yeah.
I think I should
Thing.
try to sense them.
You sit and you concentrate for a moment.
I'm not
Oh.
doing that.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
he's,
not doing
he's
that.
worried
Oh,
about that.
okay.
That's why I was
Yeah,
asking,
I
like,
think she should.
No.
Yeah,
No,
don't-
he should.
don't-
I
yeah.
said I am not doing that.
Well,
This protection would not help with that.
And everything about the 3 different doors looks the
They're
same.
the
There's
same.
no
Mhm.
difference.
Yeah, like perfect symmetrical. Like if you look really closely at them, there's obviously like some variations because, that's just drawing. There's not actual variations. It's
Mhm.
just completely perfectly symmetrical.
Prior to coming here, we did.
Does the bard know any stories about weird dwarven puzzles?
I was like, prior to coming in here, we didn't find anything that would have said anything. I don't know, right?
No, we
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah. If not for
Yeah,
your
no,
senses,
the only thing I've got
Velis,
is scrying, which is not going to be useful in this particular situation.
What about your blade, Aiden?
I don't think it knows much about dwarven cities.
Not so much the city, but perhaps the direction of the
Of its
elder brain, or if it is powerful, as Velus's sister said.
Sure. Can it sense anything?
If you get close enough to it, I certainly can. But your snow-haired friend over there's got the wide-ranging senses. I kind of have to get a little bit closer, but I'll tell you what. If we get within, a couple hundred steps of one, I'll let you know.
Thanks.
Oh,
Right.
great.
Right before you die, I'll let you know. Hey, you're gonna die soon. It's there.
Not from this far out.
I mean,
I'm not hesitating because of her, but I know that from what we saw in the city, it felt me.
Wait, sorry, you keep cutting
Well,
out. You might need to stage a whisper.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know why, because I'm not talking that quietly.
That's a bit
I
better.
didn't seem like it was cutting out for me.
I think he was
Oh, I was
pausing
cutting
a
out.
lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't okay.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't cutting out for me, but
Well, it seemed to cut out.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I heard
I don't know.
it cutting in and out.
It was hard to understand.
Well,
maybe
I
it's
mean,
Discord being weird
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd say
because I
now
heard
is-
fine.
Look, I think we have a day where the brain, mind flayers, whatever, won't be able to see us or sense us or know we exist. So now's as good a time as any, probably, to try and.
I mean,
Yeah.
does that work with?
I would assume, like,
I
It
This
could
seems to be
try.
a boon
Sarah,
granted
right?
by a
God
goddess.
stuff.
Yes.
this is God stuff. This is.
Go for it. We're about to walk in there without any protection anyway.
All right, I'll sit down and try that, I guess.
Okay. You sit, you begin to concentrate. And you immediately feel like there's this strange, heavy blanket thrown over your senses.
Is there anything at all that I can distinguish? I keep focusing on it.
There's nothing. Nothing like it's like you get the sense though that your senses can't go beyond this room.
It's like a big tiny hut.
There might be
There's-
it might be shielded.
I can't feel anything. I think it's something about this space.
Well, then I suppose we just have to pick one and
Could make sense.
Try.
Yes.
Sure.
Pernell's just
Just
gonna
think
step
you're
forward
debating
and
is
point
not
her blade
solving
towards
anything.
like right across the way. How about just straightforward? It is better than debating further here when we can't not see anything otherwise. Pointing that way.
That is either absolutely the correct way because it is straight, or absolutely the wrong way because it is straight.
I know.
Or we
But
could
I
debate any of these
feel-
ways right now.
I know.
Just
I'm just.
the longer we deliberate,
Mhm.
it's not
Yeah.
going to actually
And
bring
perhaps
us any
Velis
closer
can
to learning.
feel something once we are out of here. Objections?
Seems
Already
worth
walking.
trying.
None there, apparently.
Okay. So you all advance forward towards the center passage.
I guess
Okay.
so. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You have a better plan.
The the hexes didn't line up while I was drawing. So that whole area is covered in hex flagstones with metal inlay. I just didn't draw the center part because it didn't line up super great.
It's fair.
Yeah. But as Cortana steps down on the center area, you can hear the sound of her boots ringing against the stone. And you all walk forward across the hallway, across the passage, across the room, and exit into the darkness of the passage ahead. Similarly, it's dark in front of you, and you can see the light of the room behind you sort of beginning to fade. And right about the time that the light behind you begins to fade, you can see a light similarly warm in hue appear ahead of you. And it looks like a fairly similar chamber. But you find yourselves.
He flips to an exact map of this one. We're all back at the beginning.
Oh,
Damn it!
Almost exactly the same.
Oh,
except
no.
You can see the ceiling now has a
We
relief on it
Oh, it's like
that looks like there's a chamber above. And you are now all over here.
Oh.
What?
Oh boy.
So the first one, it looked like there was something below us, and now it looks like there's a chamber above us.
And a chamber below you.
And a chamber below. Okay.
Right.
So this is a maze. This is a maze.
Okay.
Additionally,
Are there any numbers on doors?
there are
How many
no
bracelets?
numbers on any doors.
Start numbering doors.
However, as you enter this chamber, you
I
all
hate these
immediately sense
puzzles.
stirring off to your left.
Mm.
The statue. The one holding a very, very, very large crossbow.
Oh, good.
Begins to shift. And turn.
Do we
Don't
we
like
back
to
up?
all of
Do we
you.
go
Get
back?
back.
And it begins to lift its crossbow.
Back.
And I need all of you to roll initiative.
Oh gosh.
Oh
Oh,
boy,
no.
oh boy, oh boy. It's
So
fine, everything's
let me
fine.
make sure everybody's got turns.
That was bad,
All right.
which makes sense.
Initiative
I'll take the
21.
7.
Ooh,
22.
ooh,
Okay.
Kristen, your die did me
Okay.
well.
Yeah. I appropriately rolled terrible.
Come on.
17. Plus 0, but 17.
Oh, come on. There we go. All right. And this is where the cool background music starts kicking in, and it goes from this sort of quiet thing to like an up tempo, but like lots of drums and low reverberating bass, like men's choirs sort of thing.
Very Casa Doom. Yeah.
Very Casa Doom,
Very
yeah.
Casa Doom.
I'll roll for Hegan. Okay. So, the thing begins to turn, lifting up its massive crossbow. The thing is probably, it could probably pick up Leah and use Leah as a crossbow bolt. That's just how
my
big
gosh.
the thing
Damn.
is. And Wuria, you act first.
Well, I am going to look around. Does it look like we'd actually go back if we tried?
It's dark behind you.
Okay. And no magic, no... I still have Detect Magic up.
You still have Detect Magic. There's still the same sort of conjuration aura. You got that aura from the doorway that you entered and the one that you left. It seems to be a conjuration magic, which you know of is very teleport specific.
Don't know if going back is gonna take us back where we were, guys, because the magic maze. Bonus action, I am going to Misty Step out of the direction that this thing is looking like he's gonna shoot. So like over to like here for now.
Sure.
And then action. I am going to.
Puzzle. Oh.
You know
Can
what?
you all,
Because
Jaeger? Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not sure what everyone else is going to do for my action. I am going to just cast Blade Ward on myself.
Sure.
So that if I do get shot with crossbow bolts, I have maybe at least some protection and see what the fuck everyone else does.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. Pernell.
All right. Oh my god. Oh. Thank you for the follow, Fenris. Fernell is going to like look around, seeing this look exactly the same thing. I'm terrible with puzzles, so if any of you could keep focused on that while we deal with this. She's gonna try to. Let's see. This thing is massive. Which direction is it?
It's beginning to turn towards the group. Wuria darts out, or actually blinks to the other side and out of the way.
Yep. She's gonna at least move closer to it to pull its attention and try to swipe at it to get it to focus more her way.
For reference, because of the relief nature of those void areas, that would be considered difficult terrain because it's not flat. It's like carved and wavy and misshapen, and so it's difficult to move on that quickly.
Okay.
So you know.
So I can at least get there. Would that be close enough, or do I have to get up here too? Because I still get 15.
It's close enough.
Okay. So
I'll snap it to the grid. I mean, yeah. So let's say it took a partial step. So there you go.
Okay. So actually, she could go like there. Should actually go here to get it to hopefully fire this direction if it does anything, and then take some swings at it.
Have the stone statue.
Yep.
It's got a lot of stone, but it's wearing effectively like metal armor.
Yep. So that is first one is where is my dirty 20?
That will just hit.
Okay. Second attack is slightly better than that. Third attack is much better than that.
Okay.
And bonus action attack is okay too. Okay. So 4 hits on that. So first attack is 10 magical slashing and 6 radiant. Second one is 14 slashing and 9 radiant. Third one is 13 slashing and 9 radiant. And offhand is 9 slashing.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right. So your strikes. This thing is constructed of whatever this metal is. It seems stronger than steel, even though it looks as thin and delicate as like brass filigree. But you're wielding artifacts that may very well be older than it, and you are just carving into it, and you can see bits of sparks flying, chunks of this thing flying off, but it doesn't really seem to actually notice you much, despite all the damage that you just inflicted to it.
Yeah, she's just trying to taunt it down there and then yelling back, "Find the puzzle solution! I'm terrible at these."
All right. Leah.
I'm just like not even sure what puzzle she's talking about, but that tracks for Leah because her intelligence is not high.
The maze.
Yeah, maze.
I mean, yeah, Leah's
Yeah.
like, I mean, we solve it by going through it. I don't know. How tall roughly is this thing? I'm just trying to figure out if I
This
can
thing, it's about 25 feet tall.
Okay.
It
Just
is.
wanted
It
to
is
make sure.
big.
Okay.
It is
So-
technically huge.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like 100 feet tall or something, because
No.
makes it more difficult.
Chamber's about 40-ish feet tall. This thing's about 25. Not as big
Okay.
as those statues in the Hall of Heroes. Those were just
actually,
ginormous. These are just huge. Ginormous statues the size of
Sorry.
huge statues.
making sure it wasn't. All right. From what I can tell, I don't need to actually see the sky to cast Moonbeam, so Leah's gonna cast Moonbeam on this because
Sure.
that seems like at the moment
Mm-hmm.
it's big and metal, and she's like, I don't know.
Sure.
Like Cortanus is hitting it just fine, but that's also Cortanus, so
All right.
I'm
So
pretty sure
on
you've
it,
used Moonbeam in a cave.
When you have plus
before.
12, it's
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay.
yeah, probably. It's just been a while.
Hmm.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
So it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
I assume
It gets
it's
a
not
1.
dexterous.
I was
Hey!
gonna say, how good at those is
I'm
it?
gonna bet the giant statue not the most dexterous.
Yeah. And that's going to be
Oh,
a
great.
13 points of radiant damage.
Look at that. I forgot I have the D&D app thing that
Connects.
apparently dumps that. Yeah. We had
Nice.
it for one of our one-shots in our other group, and I'm like, oh, so when I click cast,
Quarantine
it does
Palooza!
that.
Hi!
So
Thank
there's
you so
the
much for the
save and
raid.
all that.
All right.
Welcome.
There's
Ignore
Moonbeam.
the
Are you
damage,
going to
though.
move?
I
We have
rolled
you.
more than that.
Oh,
We're
you
we're
rolled
in
more than
combat
that?
now. We just
Yeah,
started
I rolled
combat,
my die. So ignore
Oh, you
the
rolled
in a
yours.
dwarven
ignore what
maze,
it says.
Gotcha.
I will
and the
try and
statue
fix that
came
in
to
the
life
setting.
and started
I rolled
attacking us.
15
So we're
damage.
Okay, so it's
I
an
rolled a
extra
10
Close to
and a 5,
stream.
not an 8 and a 5.
Okay.
Let me set those settings here so it doesn't do the damage.
All right. And with that blast, you can see chunks of it are beginning to already fall off.
And bonus action, I don't really even know actually what I could do. I mean, parts of me wants to move, but I'm not sure where I'm moving to, so she might move a little forward,
Okay.
but like, yeah, she's still just like, not sure where we're going, so
Sure.
if back doesn't seem like it's an option.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, going backwards in mazes isn't usually the most productive.
I mean, unless we
Mm.
took a
I was
wrong
gonna say,
turn.
unless we hit a dead end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. On
Also, I don't
its
think Leah's
turn,
ever done a maze.
it sort of stops and like you can see its head tracking all the movement, and it begins to shift, and almost like it's going through the floor. Before it emerges over here, coming out of the wall. And it raises its crossbow, and you can all smell faint hint of ozone, and you feel
Like
the
it.
ends of your hair standing on end
Oh,
as
I
this
don't like it.
lightning bolt.
Would it consider
Um,
like it going through the floor being moving 5 feet while within my reach?
It did not move to trigger that. This move does not trigger
Okay.
opportunity attacks.
Hmm.
This is very intentional.
Okay.
If
Yeah, I'm sure
it
it
can.
is.
It
Oh.
can walk. Yes. So basically, I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm reasonably good at those, at least.
Ha!
Leora.
I don't know what. To
Oh,
roll.
okay, 21.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, oh, that's good.
Also, as far as my aura,
16.
Actually, before
dirty
you
20.
before you start reading numbers off to me, because I'm just getting the numbers coming
Yeah.
in. What I am going to say is, if you get a 17 or better, you save.
Ha. Nope.
Purnell and Aiden are
I rolled
inside
a
my aura,
5.
so they get
Okay.
+4.
Ooh.
No.
Okay.
Even
And
with
you're
my
dressed up as
really
it.
high bonus, I failed.
Yeah, I got a 13 and nope.
Yeah, 25.
Okay. If you fail, you take 20 points of lightning damage. I'm sorry. Strike that, reverse it. If you succeed, you take 20 points of lightning damage. If you fail, you take 40.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Cool.
Keegan takes half damage. Can someone Jaeger him?
Okay.
No.
Does he take half damage? I think so.
He's a blue dragon.
He's a blue dragon.
He's a blue
so
dragonborn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
so-
should
Yeah.
be resistant to electric.
Features and traits.
Hmm.
Wild shaped and an natural recovery circle spell. Did Dragonborn get?
Wait,
There we
did
go,
get
yeah.
temp HP
Dragonborn,
from
yeah.
something?
Not recently.
Did
I
not.
just did. That was why
Yeah,
I
you-
was
I
you-
must have had it typed in there because I hit 40 damage and it did not take 40 off of me, and I'm like, huh?
It's possible you still had temp HP from something a little while back.
Yeah, that's why. So I will fix that because
I'm actually not concentrating yet, so I'm gonna take that off.
Okay. All right.
Except I can't
Velis.
change
So I can actually see it,
Hegan's
like-
token for anything.
You can't. I thought I.
Nope.
That was not the right thing. Keegan did not suddenly breathe acid.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, I'll just mark it.
Okay.
Did Hegan make the save?
Oh.
I'll mark damage. I just need someone to roll 4
Okay.
dice for. him.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Okay. So he only takes 10 out of that. Okay.
Just barely. That was like a 15
All right.
and then a 17.
Velis.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, you take another.
I'm gonna cast Zephyr Strike on myself.
Okay.
Bonus. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that yet. And I'm gonna dash. I'm gonna dash all the way to there, and I'm going to hold my attack to stab it when I can with Kraken's Bite when I can get sneak attack.
When someone else gets within range.
Yes.
Okay.
Or any
Right.
other sneak attack trigger, but I think that's the only thing that I would have
Yeah.
right now.
Elias.
Shit. Okay. Well, I'm gonna all right. Move. I'll move up. Yeah, it's about 30 feet, I think, roughly.
Okay.
And I'm gonna. Well, yes, I'm gonna stick with my original plan.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. That was a
Maybe,
really big
dunno.
hit. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Death Ward on Purnell since seems like she's intentionally acting as a decoy.
Okay.
As per usual,
probably
yes.
smart, yeah.
It's a quick Death Ward. And bonus action, I'm gonna.
That's a touch spell. Oh,
Yeah, I
wait,
was
you
gonna
got
say,
there.
is that one
Okay.
touch?
So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, back up. Yeah,
I mean, you
Yeah.
can cast it while you're walking past her.
yeah.
Drive by Death Ward.
Yeah, it's a touch. So yeah, that's. I just wanted to get up within.
Tiger it.
And
Don't die.
Pat.
bonus
Just want you to
There's
know,
a
we're all
yeah.
counting
Yeah,
on you.
tag
And
everyone.
walk forward.
Tag, please don't die. I'm gonna. It's spiritual weapon has... I'll do that at 5th level. Get that extra D8 as my
Flame
bonus
on.
action.
All right,
And I'm
that's
gonna
plenty of
drop-
range to be able to reach it.
Yeah, right
Okay.
right there. And I'm gonna take my attack.
All right.
That would you stop? That's good. That's a 16 plus what is his? Right, his is much higher. 26
Yeah.
to hit.
He's a good cleric.
That definitely hits.
We jumped like 10 levels, so yeah.
Well, and he's actually a
also-
good cleric.
Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not a fake
so that
cleric.
is 2d8.
Not a shitty cleric.
Yeah.
How much damage?
I gotta find my d8s. 10. There we go. Ooh, that's good. That is 12 plus 17 force damage.
Okay. Yeah. Bird's like pecking at it, and it's not reacting to any of the hits or damage that it's taking. It just seems to be mindlessly and semi-intelligently acting and moving. But this is not a flesh and blood creature that would be perturbed by a giant flaming bird doing force damage at it. All right, Keegan.
Okay.
What does he can even do?
Yeah, because all of his range stuff is either like lightning, which it just put at us,
Yeah.
or I mean, I guess he can move up and he actually, so he's gonna move up by Elias. Actually, where? Yeah.
He
You want-
dash to get in range.
You could dash to get in range.
And that would at
he
least let
could.
Velis get a hit off.
Yeah. Which I can't move him, Brendan.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yep, he's in range.
Okay.
Velis,
There you go.
you can make a strike.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to roll. I'll roll that one. Okay. That's a 19 to hit.
That does not hit.
Oh.
Yeah,
Cool.
20 barely
Yeah,
hit.
20
Yeah.
barely hit, so
Well, now we know the
Okay.
AC.
yeah, AC is 20.
Sheesh.
I rolled an 8.
I mean, it's a big giant stone thing, so.
Stone and metal thing.
Stone and yeah.
My terrible rolls are on brand right now.
All right. Aiden.
Come over here. Age retaliation. Jesus.
Yeah?
I rolled a 2, a 3, and a 4.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh,
Your Eldritch
buddy.
Blast just hit it straight center in the chest to absolutely zero effect. Just splashing off of it like it's nothing. They're so much more effective against weird, fleshy Eldritch abominations than giant metal stone dwarves. Where ya? We're back around to you.
All right. Do we want to just go through a door? Or do we want to try to beat the giant stone and metal thing?
I mean, looks
I'd
like we're
say
wrecking
a
it.
way out is as good as anything.
If you see any particular one that looks better to go towards.
I have as much information as you do. So I am going to throw up. Well, actually, this is a question I haven't asked you. So some of the spells I have on my thing are the archived versions from Unearthed Arcana.
Yeah, it kept
Can I
the
continue
archived
to
versions
use
on
those,
mine too.
or
If you're going to use an older version of a character class, that's fine, but you have to stick with that version.
right? So this is a spell.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I have no desire to change it to the other version. I just wanted to know. Okay. So I am going to cast Intellect Fortress,
Sure.
which means that everyone within 30 feet of me, I can use my reaction to let them re-roll a save.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5th level, but it's kind of handy.
Mhm.
That's everybody. And then seeing how we're all kind of lined up, I am going to try to make this less of a line. Because that seems stupid with this weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to go there because there's not much of anyone in line with me.
Okay. As you move out of its range,
Oh.
it swings its crossbow at you
Ooh.
Shit.
Fair enough.
like a club.
Disadvantage though because it's marked. It's not my turn yet.
Disadvantage because it's marked. Okay, so that can
Wait.
either be a 27 or a 22.
Yeah, never mind anyway, because I'm not within 5 feet of it. I forgot. Shit.
Oh, really?
I mean, it
Okay.
hits
Yeah.
either way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, either way.
I'm still gonna
you
kick
take,
its ass.
You take 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and I will roll a con save real quick. That saves.
Okay.
Phew.
And
19,
for now.
yeah, because I rolled half of that. Okay.
All right. So yeah, seeing that, she's
Spot.
immediately running up to this thing and continuing to swing on it.
Okay.
'Cause that wasn't very nice. Miss.
Ow.
Yeah.
A miss.
No, this is why I saved my 5th level slots. Or
A
whatever.
natural
6th level.
19.
Okay,
And the
Final
bonus
level.
action attack I get with advantage because it did damage to people last round.
That it did.
It hits at least. Okay, so that is. I'm gonna roll my maiden's dice because fuck this thing. So that's 13 slashing and 7 radiant, and then 18 slashing and 6 radiant. And it's marked again.
Okay. Significant chunks of this thing are falling off, and it is severely damaged.
This last one just bashes down on
You can
it.
hear like the sound of its whatever it is, its stone and metal body grinding against it, and like horrible sounds. Leah.
All right, so this thing is actually looking really hurt now.
Yes, significantly hurt.
And I mean, it seems like just Purnell wailing on it has actually been doing the most damage, or was there anything
She's got
else?
she's got a very magical weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
And
so
a
do
lot of
I.
attacks.
So
Yeah, you do.
that's why I was like, okay, just making sure that.
I mean,
So
if you
yeah,
look at the
seeing that it
HP
actually
bar.
seems to be kind of hurt now, if I can, I think I can make it up to be within range if I go like around Hegan, because I can technically.
You have a reach weapon.
I have
Yeah,
a
you
reach
have a reach
weapon. That's why I'm like, either of those is 30 feet. So yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
will-
can make it.
Hi. Join this whaling party.
Okay.
We're a bunch of whalers.
Now it's just the like, which die do I roll? I'll roll this one. Oh, that was almost. I mean, it's still good. It was almost a natural 20 though. It'll something big to hit. I mean, I'm pretty positive that hits. Yeah, that's a 27 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Nice.
And I am going to definitely smite this thing.
Okay.
Let's see. What level smite should I do?
Get smacked.
You know what, I'm just gonna do first level for now, just because spell slots and things, and
Okay.
who knows how many more of these we have to fight. But that's still 3d8 then, because I automatically do 1d8.
What's your total damage?
Let me see. Making sure I'm rolling my right dice here. Right. Do you want the separation of the... Wow, all my d8s rolled the same number. That's funny. Does radiant versus the...
As long as you're not doing poison damage or psychic damage. As a construct, this thing is immune to those.
Yeah.
Nope, it's all slashing and radiant.
All right.
Total of let's see, 9, 10, 19, 24
Okay.
combination, and then I will hit it again. Hope.
All right. It's beginning to stumble.
Actually, really fast. Yeah. Ooh, 28 to hit. And I will throw another smite on there.
Okay.
I don't think you need one.
Yeah.
Do I really not? I don't know.
It looks like it's about
Look
ready
at
to
the
just
health
fall
bar.
apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see a
I
health
can see it.
bar.
Yeah, I
Oh.
am zoomed out to 40%. The health bar is a speck of
I'm
any.
zoomed
Like,
in.
also,
I don't see a
actually, I
health
can't
bar
see
at
the
all.
health bar at all.
I
There
can
is
see it.
one.
There
It's
is
There
one.
is one.
It
right
is
behind
Is there?
Ellis's
A
HP
pixel.
bar.
Literal a
It's a
pixel.
Okay,
pixel.
there's no frame on the bar, so it just looks like a red
Yeah.
dot.
Same.
I didn't know that
Yeah,
was a health
I'm
bar.
zoomed out so far. Yeah, I literally I thought glitch off of Velis. So
Yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was just a dot on the screen. I didn't.
well, then
know,
I won't
dot on
bother
the
with
Maybe
the
it was
extra
larger,
smite. I will save the spell
second
I
slot.
didn't see it, so
But
Okay.
Best is not the only one who didn't notice it before.
and if it doesn't die, I blame you because it goes next.
Okay.
Okay. Roll better.
Yeah.
I my
Ouch.
glaive already rolled max. Thank you very
Wow.
much last time. Oh, you're welcome. 3, nope, plus 5, so 8 points of damage. I rolled a 1 and a 2. That's what you get for telling me
That's
not to smite.
good because it had 8 hit points left.
Hey! Gotta keep the suspense up.
You're
As it
welcome.
begins to start
Yeah.
falling apart, you can see that it's a motionless face, just kind of actually like it's because it's like almost like a mask, one whole metal piece. It just parts of it like begins to fall off, but you can hear this strange humming noise coming from within it, and there's this burst of arcane energy, and I need Velis, Pernell, Hegan, and Leah to all make wisdom saving throws.
Hegan
no.
and Pernell are in my arm.
Well,
Ellis is
Okay.
that's a 9.
Reroll,
no.
reaction,
One second.
reroll.
Okay.
Yeah, you do get
Um,
the reroll.
natural
That's gonna
20.
Okay.
DC
16
17.
on a reroll.
I'm gonna Indomitable.
That's a
Okay.
31 for Leah.
Hang on.
So it's DC 17 wisdom saving throw.
Nope.
Nope.
If you fail, you are slowed.
Okay.
Great.
Great.
Trying to load my fucking.
Keegan.
Hang on, wait, I'm here. I'm here.
We
I'm
Keegan's
Yeah.
here.
also going to
Oh,
Indomitable.
hey.
Yeah, Kia's here. Kia,
Oh,
you
Kia's
have
here.
plus
Never
4.
mind. Yes,
'Cause
roll.
you
Cool,
are in my
that's
range.
good. So dirty 20.
All right, you're fine.
Yay! Thanks for rolling better than
Yay.
me.
So it's just
Slowed.
Velis and Pernell who are slowed.
No
I
idea
feel
what the
like
fuck is
Pernell
going
being
on,
the
but
slowed is
I
most
know, that's
effective.
actually bad.
No, yeah, Velis and Pernell being slowed is not ideal.
Yeah.
Velis, not so much. Pernell,
Slowed
What
is
is-
not.
that's
Yeah.
effective.
That's
Slowed
very
is not
effective.
something
Yeah.
that is gotten rid of with Luster Restoration, is it?
No, it's
No.
not.
Mm.
No, I just
I mean,
checked.
I
I'm like,
do have
darn.
Greater Restoration prepared.
That's I don't think that's it either.
what
I
is
don't
actually
know if
going
it
on
is.
right now?
I mean, Greater Restoration does
We
a lot
fought a
of things,
statue
so-
and it exploded and slowed a bunch
Does
of
it
people.
get rid of magical effects?
Great.
so
One
some of
effect
them.
that charmed or petrified the target, one curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed magic item, any reduction of the target's ability score, one of the target's ability scores, any effect reducing the target's hit point maximum.
So
and it
no.
also, it says you can reduce.
You need
let me-
dispel magic
Exhaust,
for
yeah.
this sort of thing.
Yeah.
We
Which
do
I
have
don't
people
have.
with
That's
that,
easy.
don't we?
Yeah.
I do have, I do
Leah's
have that.
got
I
that
don't have it-
prepared.
I don't.
I was saying, I
Yeah.
think we have people with
Leah
that.
has it with her.
It's like
Would Leah
Greater
know
Restoration's
that?
a little overkill, even though it doesn't
Yeah.
do anything.
I mean,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
you can see that like
does a lot,
Velis and
but-
Pernell are like, what? They're just like moving really
Yeah.
slowly. Like they're
I mean-
obviously affected by this weird arcane energy that blasted out at this thing when it
Oh,
blew up.
actually,
Don't
really fast.
mess with it yet. I think we need.
So here's
keep
another
moving.
question: is this a
What?
spell or magical effect?
Yes.
Then we get advantage.
So I'm pretty sure this is an aura and not just me because it says within 10 feet or within 30 feet. I'm not
Well,
sure.
which is it? Within 10 feet or within 30 feet?
Well, 30 feet is for level 17. I'm saying it's a
Okay.
Yeah.
so
It's an aura,
it-
so
advantage against spells and magical effects within 10 feet while holding this
So
is holding the under,
Pernell
but
would get
Molaris wrath.
advantage.
So
I'll get
so
one more shot at
Pernell
it.
would get.
yeah, if that is an aura, it has rarely come into play, so I forget if that is an aura
I
or
mean,
if
Oath
that
of
is just me.
Ancients, or is that just
Yeah.
spells?
That might just,
So
I don't
technically,
remember.
I didn't use my Indomitable, so I will use my Indomitable now. Ooh.
I feel like Oath of Ancients just kind of gives you that anyway.
What?
That's a 23 then.
Hey.
Okay, so
Didn't
only
you
Bella's
you
is
used
slow.
Indomitable though?
Oh,
No, no.
that's
Right, but then
resistance
she
against
turns
spell
out she had
damage, isn't it?
advantage.
But I had
okay.
advantage, so that's technically my advantage now. This is Indomitable.
Gotcha.
So I have still used an
Shifting where the
Indomitable.
how the roll was used.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
Mark off Indomitable.
which door should we go through next?
Yeah, that's just spell
pick one.
damage.
Oh.
Hmm?
Wait.
Hmm?
Was the lightning thing a spell?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Eh,
it did not cast a spell. No.
Not in the traditional
yeah,
sense.
not
yeah.
literally. Yeah, it shot a bolt of lightning.
So I did
Yeah.
not have a resistance to it.
Yeah.
No.
Because I apparently have resistance to all spell damage.
Oh.
I
Real
think it's not
quick,
just you. I think it's people in your aura too.
People within 10 feet of me also do, yes.
Within 10
no,
feet.
but
Okay.
Did I lose any health?
Yes, you
Yes.
got
10.
singed by a lightning
10.
bolt
By
slightly.
Yeah.
lightning.
Cool. I got
Yeah.
tickled.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got
tingly.
tickled. I got my HP halved.
Yeah.
You can probably
Like
laugh
you
a
do.
little bit.
I think your health bar on roll 20 is
Is
correct.
that-
So 120 out of
Yeah.
130.
Roll 20 is correct.
Well, that's my last Indomitable, though. Ooh. Wait, no. I only used
We
the
had a
one.
long rest before we
We
started
did.
this today.
So got
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So
definitely
one
long
and
rest.
two. Huzzah.
All right. Well, going straight didn't work last time, which doesn't mean it won't work this time, but it also could mean it won't work this time. I really don't,
Don't
like
overthink it.
mazes.
Yeah.
Just
Who
go
here is good
somewhere.
at mazes? Because this is really a maze. It's a magic maze, but it's a
Someone
maze.
just
I
start
mean, is
walking.
it survival? I'm really good at survival.
No, well, maybe.
Is any one of us a
maze.
Minotaur?
You're good at surviving, but this is not a matter of like
Yeah, it's
tracking
not like
or living in the
Nick, though,
wild
yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah.
We've made
Can I-
one choice. In order to get a handle on it, I think we have to make a couple more.
Can I
Where did we
just
come
do
from?
a quick walk?
We
and
came
look.
from
The
this
left
door.
side.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
got it.
I wanna look in each door real quick. Do I
It's dark.
see anything different if I kind of poke
Nope.
my head in each one?
You poke your head in each one, and it's a dark passage.
No, you don't get to tell what's on the other side until you walk through it all the way.
Yeah.
So like a glow or
I could summon Brightwing. He's not
Something to
shielded. So if
indicate.
she's not shielded, so if that matters.
Well, that's not really gonna matter until we're out of the city entirely. So
yeah.
Is there any
can
iconography
see
on this
if-
other statue
I
that's
mean-
still here?
I can see through
Say that again?
Brightwing's. Go ahead.
Is there any iconography or anything like that on the other statue that's still here?
Nothing that's recognizable as lettering or words or writing,
Hmm.
but it totally looks like the aesthetic of this city.
Hmm. So no
Um,
special markings that might.
Yeah. This
Big
one though
clue.
is carrying a big maul. The other one had a big crossbow.
Okay.
I mean, I can see if I can see through Brightwing's eyes after Brightwing goes through a door. That.
we're the shot.
All right.
Something to indicate which
Where
way
you
to go.
snaps Brightwing in and sends Brightwing through the door she's closest to, because why not?
The
And
center door?
looks, yeah, and
Does
looks through Brightwing's eyes.
Okay. Brightwing flies ahead, and you all see her disappear into the darkness. And it's dark for a few moments, and then you can see her entering into another room that is lit, much like the one that you are in. It looks near identical as where you are, with 2 statues.
Snap back to me.
Okay, she comes back.
All right. Sends it to the one near Velis. Sends her to the one near Velis. Same
Okay.
thing?
She sees the exact same thing.
Which way did
It's
she
gonna
come
be
out?
identical.
Yeah, which door did she come out? Like angle?
She didn't come out of anything.
She got popped back
teleported
in.
back.
Does
Yeah.
it look like?
Oh, I mean, when she entered the other room, which angle was there she facing the statues
Oh, yeah. No,
from?
that's
Oh.
She was coming from between the statues.
the same spot.
Okay.
And then through the last door. If it's the same, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't know if it's a maze so much as we just have to go through a series of these things.
All right. Well, we certainly can do that.
Chelsea, does it look like the remaining statue is looking at any particular door? Like intentionally?
I mean, it's kind of.
I mean, but both statues are angled, looking at essentially the door that's opposite where they're standing.
Are the statues in the other rooms also facing the exact same direction?
They were exact configuration. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything about the room is pretty much
So no matter which way Brightwing came, no matter which door they came out, they always came in the one between the 2 statues.
Correct.
Okay, so then it doesn't seem to make any difference.
It could just be anyone who's not a dwarf gets attacked. Something like that.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, with the statues.
Or if you need some kind of special pass or something.
Well, if we want to be clever, we can at least, if it doesn't really make a difference anyway, just go through the door that the remaining statue is looking at.
Sure. We went
Sure.
straight last time. Might as well
Smart
try a
as
different way.
anything
Works
else.
for me, and I will just go since I'm standing the closest to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the other. We're all also
Yeah,
like.
you
Yeah,
have
Maria
room.
follows.
Okay. Yeah.
Nope, done.
So I was going to say, and now I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Pernell
Alright.
also has Death Ward for 8 hours, I believe it is.
Yep. Thank you.
So, just
noted.
All right.
make a note of that.
Waria does say,
It's not-
if we're not a dwarf, then I would hope your goddess wouldn't lead us through the door that we can't actually solve.
Yeah.
Seems inconvenient.
Mm.
Yeah.
Less than ideal.
Okay. So, you move through the door that Velis is next to. When you enter the chamber, you can see that there is no relief carving on the floor. It is solid. But looking at the ceiling, you can see the relief carving of what look to be multiple chambers above you. In this particular chamber, there are no statues. There look to be 2 large bases where statues are missing.
You said when Brightwing went through here, Brightwing saw statues, right?
Mm-hmm. The Brightwing, the room.
She's asking. I mean,
Yeah.
In character.
There were statues and there was relief on the floor. Yes.
Yeah, which means either the fact that we'd already gone through a door matters, or Brightwing is different somehow in some other manner. But
I mean, it might know that Brightwing is a conjured creature, so it might not treat them the same.
A few moments later, you can
Or they've
see
already
emerging from the ceiling are 2 statues. And they sort of both fall and drop down with a thud. One of them, looking similar to that one carrying a large maul, and then another that looks more like the other one.
I'll use my second temp HP for the day because that last room hurt.
Where did it go?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Leah's gonna use some of her lay on hands.
I rolled a 1.
Did we come in from the top or the bottom?
You all came in from this middle spot down below. And you can see that there's a blank wall. across the way.
Oh, that's true.
But it ends at a blank wall.
Uh-huh.
And I need everyone to
Here we go.
Leah's
roll
gonna heal
initiative
herself.
again.
20.
Well,
Leah's
maybe I'll
gonna
not
heal
get a
herself.
natural.
You're
one.
rolling initiative before you heal.
17.
Okay, I was gonna say Leah would have done that while she was walking from one room to the other because it's lay on
You
hands.
didn't
but-
say it though when you were walking from one
Did
room
I
to
Got a
another.
21
I
again.
forgot I did
Did
40
I get
points
my
of
1
damage
temp
till,
HP?
till Kristen said that, and then I was
You can
saying
do
I
that
was
on your
doing it.
turn after
then I
you
won't do
roll
it.
initiative.
Okay,
Nope,
except
Oh.
I already.
They
Oh,
drop
man.
down and
Sure.
immediately take offensive actions.
Well,
Mhm.
then I'm not gonna do that because.
Okay, I need to get another one of those things. Come on. There we go. And they actually both land on what looked to be what those platforms were. With a very resounding ka-thunk and a thud. And let me get everybody turns.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I was talking to Roll20.
Oh, sure.
There we go.
Not you, jeez.
Because it didn't take my turn the first time I entered it, so when it took it, I said thank you.
Well, there we go.
Before combat actually starts, I really need to go.
Let's take a quick bio break. This is like 2 or 3 minutes. Everyone go and come back if you need.
Okay.
I will
And
make
then
some
I may have to pop out to go grab the food that got delivered and bring it inside. But then we've got kind of a semi-hard stop at 9.
Okay.
Be right back.
Works for me. Okay. Break time. I'm gonna put up break time screen chat. We'll be back soon. We shall deal with this the way we deal with everything else.
Punch him in the asshole.
Yes, the prison pocket.
What is with you? Prison?
I'm gonna use that new spell that I got just to punch Nox. I think I'm gonna do it. If we're not doing it tonight, I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna wallop him right now.
I was trying to have a moment, but no.
It's Bureau's fault. Blame Bureau. He's the one who said it.
I said it once.
I know.
So
You shouldn't have said it to
yeah,
Knox.
but when John hears it and he loves something, he's gonna run that joke into the fucking ground. That's what you don't understand.
He's gonna bury that thing 10 feet deep.
Here lies
10
prison pocket.
feet up the prison
Episode
pocket.
55 to 80.
Side behind you, those of you who are still in the four-way intersection,
Oh boy.
you watch as coming out of that weird green glowy liquid
Motherfucker.
is another one.
Fucking
I
hell.
knew I should have drank it. Whatever.
I
No.
don't
Glad
think
you
you should have drank the
No.
snake liquid.
People have been telling me that for years. I've never taken their advice.
Oh my god.
Big inspiration.
What you gonna do?
Someone clip that, please. Tommy, clip that shit.
And I fist hard. And I fist strong.
All right, I'm down. Let's do this.
I'm not King Shimmer. Let's do this.
Excellent. Prepare your body. No. You should not eat dinner before this. Otherwise, you might puke it all over me, and that is just... Ugh. We are fisters here, men of culture.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, Velis is up there.
Okay.
How long's... Oh, Elias isn't here. I was going to say, he'd probably keep his spiritual weapon because he can move it as a bonus action.
No. And I still have Intellect Fortress up.
Mhm. Only been a moment.
Yep. As long as I keep concentration, I think it's like an hour.
Wow.
It's a level 5 spell. It uses my
Mm.
reaction, so it's not like it's 10 minutes, not an hour. But still, for any combat, 10 minutes is plenty of time.
So...
Okay. Want me to start stuff off?
Yeah.
Okay. Pernell is gonna seeing what happened with the last one. She's just gonna focus her attention on the one with the big fuck off mall and run over here.
Sure. The ground is not rough terrain because it's flat.
Sweet. So
It's actually smooth stone. There's no hexagonal tiles or anything on it.
1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, bonus action, no hit. Okay.
Okay. As you get close to this one, you can see its armor is heavier, and thicker.
Oh, so it's higher.
And has a higher AC. Yes.
Okay, but I still got like over. I rolled like a 17, a 15, a 17, and then
Yeah.
the one
Plus
that
your
hit.
bonuses. You're fine.
Okay. 13 slashing and 6 radiant for the first one. 10 slashing and 2 radiant for the second one.
Okay.
And 15 slashing and 3 radiant for the third one.
Okay. What was the second one? I missed it. Sorry. Damage.
Crap.
You're averaging about 15 to 17-ish.
Yeah, there was 15. I think I rolled better on that one, so it was like 15 slashing and
okay,
something like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, and some radiant. I
was double checking something when the numbers came in.
4. I'll say 4 radiant.
Okay. All right. Worry is going to be up next.
All right. Well, knowing that these things, knowing that we're attacking these things and figuring that, Waria is going to Haku, stop whining, please. Let's see. I move like here. Get everyone but Nell for now. Waria is going to
get over here. Go that way. Since you said it wasn't difficult terrain.
Go to like back there.
Okay.
Again, trying to not set up a line.
Yeah. That's what Pernell was doing when I realized I didn't have difficult terrain again.
She's gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and just Eldritch Blast the one that Pernell is attacking.
Okay.
Oh, it's in the role playing. That's fine. Okay. So that is not great. Dirty 20, 17, and 18.
None of them hit.
Oof.
Mm.
Yeah, they just sort of do nothing.
Yeah, splash, splash, splash. Aiden.
Let's see, how close am I? Yeah. We got that. So you're gonna run up, unsheathing the sword, and it thickens a bit into a great sword as he
Okay.
runs up. And then I'm gonna take a swinger.
Wait, they're both attacking?
Natural
Yes.
20.
Yeah.
Nice.
Woo!
Well, I only saw one in the
I was gonna
initiative.
Eldritch Smite
Oh, no, there's
anyway.
two.
So
Get wrecked.
All the smites.
yeah, I forget. Do you do rolling double the dice or just rolling the dice and then doubling?
Whichever you prefer, but you got to decide before you
That's
roll.
easier to just double it.
Double the damage.
Roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make sure I have enough d8s for this smite.
You can always just use roll 20.
Oh, hey, G4.
Is it?
How's it going?
68. I need one more.
I found out luckily the DM has a hard stop before the mission
Fun.
tonight, so I have time.
Okay. 7. Alright, so that is 14, 16 slashing. Or actually, no. 14, 21. Yeah, 21 slashing. 5 necrotic, and then 10, 20, 28, 56 force damage.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
How did you do
Get
that?
fucked.
What is
damn.
that?
Eldritch Smite.
Eldritch Smite on a crit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right, it doubled. I was
You
like,
doubled the smite.
I don't
too,
know
yeah.
any spell that is that many dice.
Yeah, like where Aiden hits, there's just this spider web of cracks in the metallic armor that it's wearing,
And
and
I have a
pieces of
second
it like
attack.
are shattered and
Yeah.
falling off.
That one's not as good. That one might not hit. No, it's a dirty 20.
That will hit.
Hey!
Okay. On that
Yeah,
one.
that one's got lower AC.
Okay,
than
there.
the other
Yeah,
one.
this one does not look to be as heavily armored.
So that is another
that's the thing,
14
if they
slashing
weren't
and 5
before.
necrotic.
Okay.
Pearl just looks over at Aiden, just gives him one of these, like,
Yeah, this thing is severely wounded. Like parts of it are falling apart already.
And looks back at
That was
her
a
own,
mighty
looks to
blow.
his, looks back to her own, and just kind of like, oh, now she's up for the challenge here.
Velis.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Yep. I will run up and hit things.
Okay.
Don't want to try and finish off this one.
Nah. So that's dirty 20.
Okay. That does not hit.
All right, I'll try again. Okay, that's better. 24.
That does hit.
Okay.
Woo.
So where's my D4? Where's my D4? And it's my first turn, so I can make a second, technically a third attack. Oh, yeah, this would be my first. Wait, hold on. I've got to check a thing.
You are going
Okay.
before it in combat, if that's what you were checking.
Yes, you are going before it in
Yeah.
combat. I'll be right back. I gotta
I
go get
didn't
something off the
think about
porch.
that.
Hmm.
So you think about
advantage
that, and I'll be
on that
back in about
one?
30
Okay,
seconds.
so going
Yeah.
before it means that I had advantage, so this is technically still the first hit. So I get an extra
Yeah.
d6 of lightning damage.
Woo.
Oh, oh no.
Hmm.
Hold on.
Okay.
Plus 6. Yes, 40 damage.
Oh.
Ooh.
Nice.
Save
Woo!
that for
Yeah.
Save that
when he
number.
Say that
comes
number.
back.
Yeah.
That's some good shit.
Yeah, write it in the chat so we don't forget.
Okay. But then I actually, because it's my first turn, I get a second attack. Because I technically can hit it 3 times.
No, I don't think Purnell's winning the next spar against Aiden at this point.
I'll go ahead and
Holy
roll the
shit.
second attack just in case I get it. Oh, is it still
I mean,
advantage?
you still
Are
have
all
more
of these
action
advantage?
economy than me.
Yeah.
I just do really big hits when I hit.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, all of these are at advantage too. Second.
Well, you
hit
have your
is-
thing now, so I can do less hits on you probably. That thing where you
What
roll
thing?
a d6 and if it gets 4 or higher, it misses.
That's if he curses her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh.
only
I
with-
feel like
Uh,
I feel like it's at disadvantage if he doesn't.
Is Aiden pissed off enough to curse Purnell today?
Well, not today, but
No, today
No,
is
I guess
the day
that
of
day.
the spar.
That's fair.
Thank
That's
you all for your
fair.
patience. Velis, what are you doing?
hold on, I'm doing
Hitting
math.
it with lots of
Math.
dice.
Yeah, second attack. So I realized I actually have advantage on all of these because Gloomstalker. So that first hit was actually 40 damage, 5 of which is lightning.
Okay.
So second attack with the same weapon because it's my first turn was a 29 to hit, and that's gonna be 10 plus. So that's 16 damage plus another 1 lightning for 17 total.
Okay.
And then bonus action, I'm gonna hit it a third time, which is 22 to hit.
Okay, that will hit.
Yeah, and that's just a little D4 plus 6. So that's 9 damage on the third hit.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
everything I've got.
Okay.
I had forgotten about the advantage thing, so thank you.
Sure. At the end of your turn, it's going to use a legendary action to bash you with its fist.
Disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Okay. What's Velis's AC? It's high, isn't it?
It's 18.
That's an 18 to hit then.
Oh shit! Oh, if you were
Uh,
closer to me, I could wording.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think you're out of. Yeah.
Yeah, you take 20 points of bludgeoning damage as it just backhands you with its fist.
Ow!
Well, that means I'm
And
gonna hit
then
it a little bit
on-
harder next time.
And then on its turn,
Oh.
you can see
It pisses it off.
there's a light that flares in its eyes. And then from underneath its armor, this billowing gas just begins to sort of exude from it.
Oh.
And I need Velis and Purnell to both make Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
I'm
no.
so good at that, guys.
It's going to be a DC 19.
Oh! I rolled an 18 and the ring gives me a +1.
Hey.
Oh my god.
And I rolled an 11 and I have a +8.
Okay.
High five!
Oh my god.
All right. In which
Both
case,
just perfectly saved.
You're right.
all right. So since you save, you take 25 points of poison damage.
Okay. Ooh.
That's like Purnell and Velis just high-fiving as they jump away from the explosion with their butts on fire.
Yeah. Basically. Basically that.
Hey,
did.
not on fire, just slightly poisoned.
You're up.
I'll let them do. Oh god, Velis is not looking right.
That was
Alright.
not.
Fine.
That's all right. I'm
Velis
back.
is like,
Great.
he's like
No, you're not.
keeled over, coughing. He's
I'm
looking
great. I say with
green.
blood just pouring everywhere.
Out of
Stop
every
staying so
orifice.
far away from me when I'm supposed to help you.
Yeah, he might have
Like-
a concussion because he's sort of like, whoa.
Ugh, well, he is like looks at Aiden, looks at Velis.
Want to
yeah,
trade?
sorry. No.
I'm gonna get poisoned.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to make 2 attacks on our friend here.
Okay.
Ooh, all right. Well, that's a sorry mathing.
Sure.
30 to hit.
30 to hit. Okay, that
Yeah,
will hit.
actually, ooh, I crit on a 19 though.
Nice.
First time ever remembered that.
Hey!
Hey, fighters.
Hey,
So-
champion.
Yes,
That's
I
gotten
know.
Kia.
I think my dad's working on something.
Oh.
Someone.
That's
I
kind of
don't
what
know,
I figured.
Someone's working
Oh,
on.
I didn't hear it coming from you.
okay.
I honestly feel like I assumed it was downstairs because most random
No, it was
noises.
The
definitely
first
coming
one
through the
is a
headphones.
crit on the
Ah.
19, which is ends up being a 30 anyway. But then the second one was 24.
There was crosstalk. I didn't hear what you said for damage.
I haven't rolled damage yet. I was saying the second one was 24 to hit.
It's 24 hits.
Okay, cool. So the first one is the crit, so I will do that one for East.
So it's 1 or 22 for this guy.
His AC is 22.
Okay.
So 20 for the first one damage.
Ah. That's not what that's supposed to say.
And then
Actually, send his HP to negative 20.
oh.
I
Yes,
noticed
I like
that.
that. We'll go with that.
We'll take that option.
13 on the second one.
All right.
And then no, yeah. I think that's all I'm gonna do for now. I
This
can't
one is
really
beginning to show some damage to it now.
can't really help
Parts of it
fellas.
falling off.
Yeah, right now. So we'll call that my turn for now.
Okay. All right. At the end of your turn, it's going to use 2 of its legendary actions
fuck.
to start spinning with its maul.
Oh, shit.
Great.
Now, it has disadvantage to make an attack roll against everyone but Purnell, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, Velis.
Mr. 10 HP doing it.
That's a 19?
Alice is
You probably should have death warded Velis here.
You know, I was going to before he dashed away, and he's.
You take 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yup. So, yup.
Hagen, you take 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
And Purnell, you take 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As it basically just clonks each of you with its maul in a whirlwind attack. And Velis is just crumpled, thrown to the ground. Elias.
Velis.
There's just blood spattering everywhere. It's horrible.
Alice is having a bad day.
It's gonna have a worst headache ever.
Okay.
It's like I have to deal with this headache, and I didn't even have any alcohol.
Okay.
Please don't make me spit something on my screen 2 days in a row.
No promises.
Ooh. All right. Here, get in range of people,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have a panic attack. Happy cleric noise. Okay. Wait. You're just unconscious. You're not dead, right?
I'm unconscious.
Okay.
For now.
I didn't think it was that hard of a hit.
That would have taken a lot more damage.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna.
Oh,
screw it. All right, I'm gonna.
That would have been real bad if I had failed that con save. I'm realizing.
Okay. Okay, so Purnell and Hagen look okay at the moment. Like, not great, but okay.
Yeah.
They look a little banged up.
A little banged up, but not
But they're not lying on the ground bleeding.
bleeding out.
Yeah, don't worry about us.
Yeah.
And also Purnell's death ward. So okay, yeah, I'm gonna.
It's not even bloodied yet.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna. You're gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna life transference.
God damn it!
4th level.
Stop doing that.
More D8.
Stop fucking dying.
Yeah,
Stop
right?
doing
Learn to disengage, motherfucker.
Not disengage as a bonus action, you dumbass. Use it.
Yeah. You're squishy.
But he wants to use the bonus action to get one more melee attack in.
Dead.
Can't
That
be
6
worried,
damage
you're
is so
dead.
important.
Yeah, right?
I didn't know it was 9 damage. Excuse
Become
you.
a fighter.
When the rogue refuses to disengage.
Oh, I mean, it just got flipped on its ass like Velas.
All right, hold on. I gotta. I always feel conflicted about rolling mediocre on this spell. All right, so I take. All right, Velas is back up with 38 hit points.
Thank you.
19 damage. Nope. Yep. Action. I still have my spiritual weapon up. I'm guessing if it's been.
It's been just moments, so I would say
Okay.
it's an extra 2 rounds into its thing.
All right, I'm gonna move my spiritual weapon, which I can't actually click on, towards this one. 20 feet towards the one with the crossbow.
All right, there you go. It can now be clicked on. At least it should be able to.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's about as far as I can get it.
Okay.
That's my turn. Wait, actually, no. I'm gonna action surge.
Action surge.
Hey.
I keep forgetting I can do that. And I'm gonna do because everyone's looking hurt. So I'm gonna do a wound. I'm gonna put. Yeah. So I'm gonna put it right, like center
How
it
does
kind of.
multi-spell casting work with action surge?
Yeah.
When you action surge, you get another action.
Another action.
Okay. Even
Yeah.
It's not governed by
Yeah, it's not on a per turn basis.
rules like
It's just on an action.
So yeah, right.
What are you doing? Why are you being weird?
2, 3, 4, 6. I mean, yeah, that's any 6 people. I think it is within the 30-foot. Yeah.
you could do everybody except me.
Okay. So.
What are you doing?
Mass cure wounds. 6 people in any of us, because I can get all of us. So, I can get everyone except for one person. So I guess if
Aiden has not taken much. It looks
I have
like.
the highest percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3, 7, that's 14. 9. So everyone else we get 19.
Damn.
Okay.
Cool.
I rolled real well on that one.
Yay.
Hey, you get back your life transference.
I get back my life transference.
Nice.
Hey. That was the wrong way.
All right.
That's a plus. There we go.
Now that's my turn.
Just trying to take more health from
Okay.
yourself.
The other dwarven statue starts cranking its large crossbow.
Oh God.
And you can see this small bead of orange light launch, sort of arcing towards the group before it explodes in
fun
this
guy.
very
Fireball?
large, massive fireball.
Oh shit!
Oh gosh.
And I need
Great.
Before I died
everyone
again.
but Leah
Well, at least
to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Thankfully, I haven't gone yet. Otherwise, I'd be right in the thick of that.
22.
It's
Nope.
Nope.
DC of 19.
All right.
So
Well,
Indomitable.
luckily, halfling
Indomitable.
luckily, halfling luck is a thing because my first roll was a 1, but then I rolled a 12 plus 10.
No
that's
damage.
22.
Whew, thank God
No
Velas made
fucking
that.
Thank
damage.
God. All right.
Velas is like,
There's my
nope, not doing that again.
You see this fireball coming towards you, and like the 4 inches of that lip, you're like,
You did your
you kind
fireball.
of like tuck yourself into it as much as possible, and you feel the just wave of heat wash over
I was
you.
already on the ground, so I'm just gonna roll over.
Yep.
Nope.
It's like,
If you fail your saving throw, you take 50 points of fire damage.
Ow.
Thank God Indomitable.
Eh.
Thank you, Evasion.
If
Hey,
you save, you
Elias.
take 25.
Yeah.
Got
still
any of
out.
them heals?
Wrong way.
Also, you can see as the fire washes over the other statue, it starts absorbing the heat energy, and parts of it are beginning to like
Oh, no.
repair and grow back.
Oh,
You
no.
guys could have finished it off. You
Yeah.
had enough time
Yeah.
before it went.
Yeah.
Bella's was almost dead.
That's why I
okay?
took over the 1 so everyone can deal with
All right, Leah.
Yeah.
I tried to
Unfortunately, I
So that was bad.
Yeah.
I don't
I have no shield
anything about
resistance. That only works if I succeed on the saving throw.
I'm
Dexterity
still
saving,
gonna go
hi!
with my original
Thank you so
plan.
much,
Even though I'm
Raid.
like, well,
What's your stream? We're fighting
Aiden
these
is now looking rough too. But
huge ass dwarven fighter
So I'm gonna-
constructs in a maze.
let's see.
Sauce! Hi,
Oh,
Elf Nature. Hi.
concentration.
Cymox TV. Hello, hello. Sauce Raid.
Okay, I can still make it if I go that way.
Let's go.
So she's gonna run up here, kind of drive by Elias, and just say,
Wait, no.
"If you can help Aiden with that one, I'll
Skulltula?
get these
Skulltula.
guys." And she's running over this way.
You
Okay.
TPK'd. Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
And
No.
promptly, yeah, centering herself
Rip.
between these 3.
I'm so sorry, y'all.
Sure.
Because auras. And then she's going to cast Bless on Velas and
F in chat.
Pernell and Hegan.
As long as it was great. As long as it was awesome.
So in addition to being in her aura, you now get an extra D4 or whatever.
Aura does.
That's
I appreciate that.
What was the thing with the I remember on the other game, Jerusha, your game, there were different icons for the players. Was that something that you had special installed?
No.
You
It might have
What
been
do you
because
mean?
I have the Wildemount campaign guidance spot on Roll20, maybe. I don't know. Maybe those are
interesting.
the icons.
Yes,
I
Fighters,
don't know.
welcome.
I mean, you
Okay.
can.
Glad to have you as
What are
always.
you talking about?
I don't know.
This is a
There are like
tough
different
fight.
spell effects that you could put on people.
We're bad at
At least
mazes,
maybe
apparently.
I'm completely misremembering something.
I don't
know.
remember something specific like that, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there.
I'm very glad I have Death Ward now.
I mean, you can
Okay.
do little icons on your own thing.
Yeah.
Right.
If you right click on it. But
Yeah.
did I?
Hole in your lip?
I spilled coffee.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
All right, so
I
Leah, you
didn't
cast
spill
Bless,
coffee. I just thought I did.
and anything else?
I'm gonna check through my bonus actions really fast. I don't think there's much that I can do. So
Oh, I totally could have ice blocked, but oh well.
yeah.
Live and learn. Okay, Pernell.
All right.
Little
First things first.
singed.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
gassy.
but
How much
singed.
fire damage it was gonna be?
Yeah, to all that. Pernell's going to, first things first, she's going to look around to how things are here. She's going to run, like, Ponmelia Moira. She's going to grab
Also my aura does +1 to your AC.
Yep.
That's the one I always forget too.
Cool. She's going to grab
'Cause
Velas
that is-
and
that's
basically
the
yeet
separate
him
aura
back
that I
towards
got from the
Elias.
Raven Queen.
Oh shit! No one heard me.
Beefs up
Okay.
people's ICs.
First things first. Pernell's gonna run past here, like staying within range here. Run past Panmelia Moira. She's gonna get over here, grab Velis, and yeet him back towards Elias. Stay back there.
Make a
What the
drink.
fuck?
Just grab Rogan.
Athletics.
Strength athletics, yeah.
When you throw
Eating the
rogue
rogue.
at
Natural
the
20,
From an enemy.
motherfucker.
Elias
Elias
has
doesn't
to
even
catch
have
him.
time to finish saying what
Yeah,
the
right.
fuck.
Yeah. So you managed to toss him about 10 feet from you. So he's slightly further away.
I would like to continue pushing him back towards Elias so he's out of the range of this thing.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna drag him and move him half your speed.
Yes.
Okay, sure. You'd have to step away as well.
So yeah, that was still
I think
only
you
like
have
1, 2, 3,
one-
4. I think I have enough to get step back into range of this thing, or stick back in
You
close
were
enough. Yeah.
here 5, 10,
10.
15, and that's half your speed. And then you could
After chucking him,
you can either pull Velis completely out of the way. You simply do not have the strength to yeet 100+ pounds of dark elf with all of his equipment that far. I'm sorry. You can drag him, but that will get you out of range of this creature. It's up to you.
Would that
So you can either
be part of a dash action?
you could dash, and that would let you move again. And if you're carrying him, then you could do that.
Action surge to get fucking hit.
Yeah, that's
But
what I
you
want to
could
do.
action surge to.
That's absolutely what she wants to do.
Okay, you can dump him just out of range of the two sentinel creatures, and then dash back in and action surge and get your attack, full attack. Okay.
Let's do this. Nope. 12.
We don't trust Velis to get himself.
Would 21 hit or no?
No, it does
Okay.
not.
For
Third.
Twitch, they're shit talking.
No! Let's try bonus attack then and hope for the best. Okay, that at least gets 1 in. So that is 11 slashing with the offhand.
Okay. All right. So it begins. Parts of it cracking and breaking. Where ya?
I don't know why that clip thing doesn't work right.
Consider momentarily, and then realizing that, or considering that very large statues probably aren't like super dexy.
They don't seem particularly nimble.
She's going to attempt to cast Sacred Flame
Sure.
at the one that Aiden is by.
Okay.
Seeing
What,
as
you mean
half
I
the
can't
party is on
solo
the
it?
one.
If you really want to. I feel like Aiden would enjoy that.
I probably could
So
at
it's,
this point.
Yeah, you could.
DC 18 Dex.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but that thing like just fireballed the entire party and healed the other one. She wants it
Yeah.
It
dead.
did.
Yeah.
It did
Yeah.
that, didn't it?
Okay. 15
Okay.
radiant damage.
All right.
And then
shit.
It
Actually,
burns in sparkly fury fire.
I had advantage on that one. Damn it.
bonus action. Let's say 3rd level healing word on Elias because he's actually looking fairly rough.
Okay.
Also, I technically did 6 more damage on that one because of it damaged people other than me.
Okay.
Um,
It did damage people other than you.
So Elias, that's 13 healing. And that is where his turn. She's going to hang out over by this door.
Okay. Aiden.
I'ma curse it, and I'ma smack
Okay.
it.
Get it!
All right.
choice.
It has been cursed.
Thank you, Tommy.
Maybe smacked.
Yes, everyone follow
And
Dungeon
it's gonna
Hunters
be
D&D.
smacked.
Super awesome.
Hopefully smacked. We hope.
We hope.
25.
That'll hit.
So that's another 14
There
slashing
was also
and
lawful
5
stupid
necrotic.
RPG earlier. Did you get a shout out for them?
Second attack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely showing.
26.
That'll hit. Showing damage. Parts of it falling off, falling apart. The delicate
13.
filigree cracking and breaking.
13 slashing and 5 necrotic.
Okay.
Oh, actually, wait. And then... Actually, add 10
Oh,
to
Canadian
all of that
got them
because of
earlier.
the
Great.
curse.
The curse?
Yay. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure.
All right. Yeah,
Cool.
it's
Thank you, friends. Thank you, mods.
having trouble moving. It's
No, it's
very,
fine.
very
It got done.
damaged.
Fire
Velis.
call. Oh shit.
I can fucking walk.
You can stand if you want. If you want to do that first, because right now you're prone on the ground, like
Yeah.
bleeding
Yes,
from
I
multiple
will
places,
Get up.
still coughing.
Heal me.
Like just the edges of some of your hair are still like singed, and you can smell them.
All right, I'm gonna walk up here and just stab it.
Okay, you get your sneak attack damage because it's adjacent to an ally.
I do, and I rolled a natural 19, so that's definitely gonna hit.
Yay!
That'll definitely hit.
Yay, good false alarm. That's always good.
And not as good as last time, but uh 32 damage.
That's enough to take it out.
Yeah,
And
and some
as
of
it's
it was lightning.
full,
5 of
again
that was
falling apart, the faceplate falls off, and similarly, there's a burst of arcane energy, and I need Aiden and Velis to both make wisdom saving throws.
I heal.
DC 17.
Velis
did
does
a
still have bless.
Yep.
That's not gonna help.
You are slowed.
Yeah, that's a 10.
Are you within 30 feet of me?
I was already slowed,
Nope.
actually. I just forgot.
Oh yeah,
about
did
that.
we ever get rid of
Oh,
those?
Oh
He
yeah.
just
Yeah, we
is.
did.
I thought,
just
didn't
did.
someone say that they used some spell slots
I
to
was
cast
No,
going
wait,
the
did
spell
to.
magic?
Did we ever?
I was going
I don't
to,
think
but I
anyone
don't think we
actually
actually
did.
did. We were like,
I
we
just
should keep
forgot
moving.
about it.
So we never actually said that.
And then we all
I'm going to say, since you did so many attacks, that someone who can cast a spell magic
I will
spent
check
2
it off
spell
of my
slots
list.
to do that.
Okay.
Did anybody else have it prepared? Because if not, Leah would have cast it twice because she
No.
can.
I don't have it prepared.
All right.
All
And
right,
then
I will check off those.
Alrighty.
let's see.
I got
Hold on.
a dirty 20.
Yeah, you're fine.
And I'm gonna dash just to move up here so that I'm not clustered up with everyone else.
Stay away.
Yay, there you
Hey,
go.
fuck off.
Right. All right. It makes an attack with its maul against Purnell, Leah, and Hegan. Disadvantage on
Yeah, the other
Hegan
two.
and Purnell.
Also, AC
Hegan and
is
Leah.
19 now.
Okay. Okay, so that is an 18 against Hegan.
No.
Aren't you lucky?
Thank you, Leah.
That's a dirty 20 against Leah.
I mean, I think that, yeah, that hits.
And that's going to be a natural 20 against Purnell.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
No.
It's okay. That's fine.
Okay.
That's
so,
probably the best outcome.
Leah, you take 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
Purnell, you take 46.
I'm still
Oh,
up.
man. I just like Velis. Purnell runs in, throws him out of the way.
But still up. But still up. And didn't even have to use
still-
warding.
Nobody
Didn't even have
touch
to
her.
use the death ward.
And
He's still alive.
it merges into the floor
Fucker.
What?
That fucker.
and then
Dang.
reemerges right about here,
Oh, that.
pushing Elias out of the way.
Of
Oh.
course.
Keegan,
It technically moved within my reach, technically, because it was there and now it's there.
Some of them
Do we get a swipe on it?
And
that melding move does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
Hmm.
oh, one of them did not hit for sure. The other one was Mathing.
Actually, hold on. I'm just gonna
24.
go there.
That's still there.
24 definitely hits.
All right, so
Reach weapons.
those are one of them. So 12.
Okay.
And I'm gonna action surge.
Action surge.
Action surge.
The fuck?
Welcome to my life, everyone. That's what I get to live with every day.
That was like the We Play D&D intros and Critical Role.
Yes.
We played
All right.
D&D.
26
What else are you
and
doing?
28.
Both of those will hit.
Last week we were tripping balls, and now
Then,
this.
well,
not last week, but last time.
I'm gonna go ahead
That's
and I'm gonna use one of them. I'm gonna use my charge on my glaive too for one of these. Oh well. So that's 16 slashing, and then okay. And 15 lightning.
Okay.
Then that is it for me.
Okay. All right. At the end of your turn, it uses 2 of its legendary actions to make a sweeping whirlwind attack against every creature within 10 feet.
Oh fuck.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
That's like all of us except Waria, isn't it?
And disadvantage.
Velis,
And Velis.
Oh, and
Right.
Velis. Right.
disadvantage.
I told you I'd move.
Against
I
everybody
zoomed
else.
in again
Disadvantage
and he was
against
off the
Aiden.
screen.
So much for not
16
using
against
Death Ward
Aiden.
earlier.
No.
Natural 1 against Elias.
Yay!
That is a 28 against Brightwing.
Ooh.
Oh,
Brightwing's out.
Poor Brightwing.
I mean, in fairness, I didn't actually mean for Brightwing to poof back in after I poofed her out of the last hole, but I didn't say that, so Brightwing's down.
I'm gonna use my reaction to warding flare when it attacks Purnell.
Okay.
If I can on an attack like this. I don't.
Does that grant disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay. That's a 18 against Hegan.
Nope.
23 against Leah.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
I'm gonna warding
And-
maneuver her.
Which does what?
Which it
wait.
already has disadvantage.
It
No,
already
no,
has
no, no, no.
disadvantage.
I add AC. I add AC to her. I add AC
It's
to her.
attack.
So add 4 to your AC. Does that still hit?
That makes my AC 23.
So it you also take half damage from it then.
Okay.
That'll be good.
Mhm.
And that's going to be a dirty 30 against Purnell.
Yeah.
Good
With disadvantage.
At
That's
disadvantage?
right.
17 and 19.
That's fine.
Oh,
I have Death Ward. It's fine.
Okay, so everyone who gets hit takes 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm still up with 1.
So do I take half
As Death
of
Ward
that?
Death Ward
Yeah.
tucks in.
Yeah.
You take half of
So
that.
half of that is 12 or 11?
Round down.
Round up
11.
or down?
Half of that. You always round down.
Okay.
In
So
D&D.
11.
Yes.
I'm gonna take off a warding maneuver. You
All
stay
right.
out.
Yeah, there's this bright flare of light, both from Purnell and from Hegan, as this maul just sweeps across them, and they both get beamed by it. But with each flash of light, you can see the maul being thrown back against the swing, and we're to Elias.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh gosh, do I try and
Can Leah reaction or whatever? Can she shout to Elias and say, "I'll take care of Purnell"?
You don't need to use a
Shut that-
reaction. You can just shout. Yeah.
Okay, can Leah shout that? Because like seeing her go down, Leah's got.
She's not
She can
down.
go down.
She's
Right next to her.
technically
The
back up.
Death Ward.
Oh,
The
she's
Death
right there.
Ward
Okay,
kicked
well,
in.
Still, she
Death
is.
Ward kept her at 1.
She can assume that Elias is gonna be like, Leah's like, I got it, bro.
Oh hey, Cotton.
Got it, bro.
Yeah, we're dirty 30.
I got it.
I'm the
Elias
tank.
is Purnell
I'm the
is
fucking
just
tank
like,
of this group.
Yeah. Really helpful, wasn't it?
If I want to do something with a 10-foot,
I'm the fucking tank when I do this, Velis.
Be able to do that without hitting the rest of my party.
Oh,
Tank
yeah,
hog, hell yeah.
Okay, I might have to back up.
You can do it from where you're standing. 10-foot range?
Radius.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll hit.
Or as they all call her,
It'll
the
hit your spiritual weapon, but it's not a
the
creature.
pinwheel of doom.
I'm within 5 feet of it, so I would have to back up.
Dual
It's
wield.
a
Oh.
15-foot creature, though.
It's a radius?
It's a radius.
Oh, radius. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you would have to back up.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'm gonna take that chance. I'm gonna back up.
Okay.
Are you centering it on it or a little out from it?
Center it.
If you want to back up far enough to not get hit,
It really
and not
is.
hit anyone else,
Just because she
it
has
will get
2
a swipe at
blades
you.
and spins
That's
around a
fine.
lot.
All right, in which it does.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Glad to have you.
21.
That hits.
23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Right.
23. Okay.
hmm
Still up.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
And I'll back up one more step.
Still trying to figure out whether the Snailian's mission is tonight or
I'm
not.
gonna use my
It might
last
be.
5th level slot for
take until
I'm
Javelin's
just
lunch.
gonna flame strike
Fair.
down on top of this thing.
Or Mull in
Okay.
this case.
So it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Does it now? Yeah, that's going to be a 1.
Hey! Yeah.
Really? The giant statue guy is not dexterous?
Well, I rolled a 2.
That is, it's 4, right? Yeah, 4d6 fire and 4d6 radiant.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Flame
8.
strike is fun.
It's just nope.
Yeah.
That one dropped out of my. That's okay. I got something.
I'm just gonna set myself up early. Let me see. I'm gonna second wind on my turn, so I should probably know. Oh fuck. 3 plus 2, 13.
All right, that
I'll take that
is a
16 when I get
total
there.
of 26 damage.
How much of it was fire and how much was it radiant?
How bad are your dice? Put them in dice jail.
I didn't.
Next to horny jail.
Because as the fire rains down, the
Oh!
radiant energy starts peeling it apart, but
Oh,
it
but the
starts
fire-
absorbing the fire and
no!
basically
Oh,
heals
no.
the damage.
Yeah, because the fireball healed it earlier.
That's right, it did.
Yeah, it
got
absorbs
shot?
fire damage as hit
Shit.
points. So, did you do more
boy.
fire damage or more radiant damage?
Figure that
I
out.
didn't. I just rolled it all at once.
I'll consider it a wash. Half and
I
half.
was not-
Shit.
Yeah, I was not thinking.
Ah,
Leah, you're up.
all right. Well, I barely even have to run over to Pernell. I'm already
There.
You're already standing next to her.
there. I'm gonna scooch a little bit closer.
Action healing word.
And I am going to dump a bunch of my lay on hands
Bonus
into
action.
Pernell. Pernell, you gain 40 hit points.
Maggie's trying to say
I'm
something.
Yeah.
Get a bonus action healing word on
Okay, who are you going to heal?
for now. I'll do it at second level.
What's the range of that spell?
Tank going
60
tank.
feet?
60. Yeah.
Nice.
I think I'm still in.
Oh, yeah, you're totally within range.
Yeah, healing
Okay,
word.
so healing word
Oh, you got
plus
the shot.
healing
Oh,
hands. She's
nice.
was at death's door, but is now rejuvenated and ready for the fight.
How many?
11
11?
points for me.
And then you get 40 from lay on hands.
Okay. Tank going to tank.
Yep.
And anything else, Leah?
I mean, what
5
was
nat
the
ones
reach
in a
of its
row.
weapon?
Holy
I'm-
shit.
That's
I mean,
like
that happened to me
At
when we
least
were in the
10 feet.
Shadowfell and I became like an
I'm just
on-way
being- 'cause I'm
depression
like, I don't
version of
wanna
this character.
Move
It
so
was pretty
far.
rough.
I think I'm actually out of its range if you go from its center, unless it goes from its side. I don't know.
That was with Indomitable. Ugh.
Um,
Yeah, get your dice fixed.
I
Or
will
get
stay
more
here
dice.
because
Always get more
Egan is
dice.
Still in my aura.
I do need some D21s.
All right.
Apparently.
So far, it's saved him twice.
Yeah.
Purnell's going to be
That's
going
part
next.
of why she ran where she did, because she was like, the closer I am. I mean, in general, she tries to stay in the thick of things for that.
Yep. So first things first, I'm gonna second wind to help with that a little bit.
Okay.
And I got 16 total, so I'm gonna add that. Let's keep on tanking then. Almost 69. Damn it. First things first. 11 plus 12 to 23. Does 23 hit?
That will hit.
Yay!
So
So
you
one
have
hit.
22.
Oh shit, I had to use my bonus action. Ah, I didn't get that. 12, 22, 20, no, 21 doesn't hit. Third attack doesn't hit. So one hit in. I'll take what I can get. That is 12 points of slashing and 6 radiant.
Okay.
And just gonna... Actually, she's gonna move here.
Mm-hmm.
Keep those two at least within range for a rewarding maneuver if she needs to. And it is marked. And that is my turn.
Where are you?
All right. Well, seeing that
yes,
she
get it cleansed.
knows
Get
that
your
these
dice
statues are
cleansed.
not terribly dexterous, she's going to Sacred Flame again.
11.
That is a fail.
Okay.
So... Okay,
This is like my favorite D&D character. I'm going to get a model made for her eventually.
4 is 7.
I like talking in Old English.
Just 17, okay. 17 radiant
Plus the guild needs more like melee fighters.
Then, you know what? Bonus action healing word on goddamn Elias again, because he's like
down to do something stupid.
Yeah, he likes to do dumb shit sometimes.
Love it.
This will be 2nd level. So that is
the cleric from his dumb fuckery.
11 healing.
Why
for
not all 3?
Elias.
Okay.
And Wiria's just going to stay where she is because it's not clumped up with everyone else.
Okay. Aiden.
Yeah, I want to smash it.
Okay.
Smash. That's not 1.
It's right there.
Oh no.
And that's a 2.
Oh no.
Wow.
So that's a whole lot of
We
notes.
are fucking shit tonight.
Never mind.
All right, Velis.
Next time.
Hang on. Oh, bonus action. He's got a bonus action.
Yeah.
What's he going to do with this bonus action?
Ooh, ooh.
I bamf away.
That's fair.
Much excited.
That's fair.
Velis.
That's
All right, I'm gonna walk.
1, 2.
That's all I got.
He's like, it looks like he's running full speed, but in slow motion. Like even his hair is like moving like in waves, like in slow motion. It would be
It's
funny
not your
if the
fault. But
situation
thank you for
wasn't-
stopping by, Cotton. I
Sorry.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss You, how's it going?
Baywatch, just
We've been rolling shit since before you got
the
here.
dagger, but I can't do anything, and just yelling really loudly, and I'm gonna
Yes, dice. Yes.
do what I did the last time I was in a situation that nothing was useful, and just explosion of black tendrils is gonna smack it. Because that's within range, but it's not gonna be. There's no way it doesn't save from it because it's a strength
Yes, have fun
save.
with that. Can't wait to see. Look forward to it.
unless it rolls real badly.
Right after this, we got
Yeah,
potentially
it's a
Snailian
DC
mission.
16 strength
If it
saving
actually goes
throw.
through tonight. In like an hour.
All right. So that is gonna be a.
And it's looking like
12.
it's probably getting rescheduled at this point.
So 2d6 necrotic damage, and it
Because a lot of
cannot
people
take
apparently
reactions.
can't make it and need to have a
Wait,
lot of
hold on.
NPCs for tonight.
This is a spell or a magical effect? It's
It
got
is.
advantage.
Yes, the Snailians. Because we try to
13.
find Sheldon.
All right. So describe to me.
Motherfucker.
No reactions?
No reactions.
Okay.
11 damage, so I almost rolled max damage with it.
Okay. All right. What kind of damage is it?
Necrotic.
Oh yeah, I'm interested in the lich request too. Sorry.
All right.
Yes.
On its turn, it sort of huffs up a bit, and then exudes another cloud. And I need Velis and Leah and Pernell and Hegan to all make Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Plus a D4, which not that's gonna matter. 13.
DC 19.
22.
Ooh, Velis, you're
Constitution?
just within 30 feet of me. Reroll.
Okay.
Did you have the D4?
23.
Just mix it with Leah's or well, I have
If I
bless too, but or is that gone?
Yeah, because you have Death Ward, you didn't technically die. Does it? I'm
The
not
hit
sure.
that would have reduced her to 0 reduces her to 1 instead, and then the death ward goes away.
Okay, so you are still blessed then.
Okay. So yeah, I'm
You
good.
did not actually drop fully to 0.
If
as
you
long as you didn't lose concentration.
If you fail the saving throw, you take 40. If you save, you take 20 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And I need to make a con saving throw.
Does Velis get to save at the end of his turn then, based on what you were saving in Discord?
Yeah, you get to save the base end of your turn for slow.
What kind of save is it?
It's a whiz save, wisdom.
19.
I forget, how do Constitution saving throws work?
You roll a d20 and then you add your Constitution saving throw modifier.
No, I mean, sorry. Like, what do I have to do? What's the DC?
19.
For
You made it.
maintaining concentration.
Oh.
10 or half the
10 or half
damage, whichever is higher.
Which would be 10 because it was 20. Well, I rolled a dirty 20, so.
You're fine.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. I was like, I don't think it's full damage because that's ridiculous. But okay. So I am still maintaining concentration on blood.
So I think I saved from slow because it was over 20.
Okay. Yep, you're fine. All right. So
If we saved, we took 20, right? Is that?
if you
so-
saved, you take 20.
Okay. I was making sure I did that right.
Unfortunately, I had a hard stop at 9.
Right.
Yeah, it's now
So
exactly.
we are going to have to put a pin in this.
Okay.
It is severely wounded. It has lost one of its compatriot statue. And Hegan, Elias, and Leah, and Pernell, they're all going to get their turns coming up on it. But it might have a trick up its sleeves. Up its sleeve.
Up its sleeve.
Up its sleeve.
Yeah.
Fucking
So
Steve.
we are going to, pause.
Okay.
And we're going to pick up here
Oh shit.
next time.
Yee.
Crap dice.
Mid-combat as the
Sweet.
players are contending
Shit,
with
we pick up at
the
Hegan's
Dwarven
turn. Oh, damn.
Sentinels
Hell
of
yeah.
a long-dead dwarf city.
I am
Thank you
actually-
all very much for playing. Sorry to bug out.
No,
What, Maggie?
I understand.
I'm gonna be late.
Good, we see baby.
Happy birthday, Maggie!
Shit.
It's
Oh.
midnight. It's your
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Midnight!
Oh, wait,
Have a
is
good night,
Maggie's
everybody.
birthday?
It's
Yes.
Maggie birthday.
The same birthday as the baby?
Birthday.
Happy birthday to Elias.
I'm never gonna
Maybe
forget
we
your
can
birthday
start
then.
at 10 next week because
I mean,
feel
I
like
think technically it's the day before. 'cause-
Yes.
Oh,
I mean,
that
it
way.
just became Maggie's birthday. Dude,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Well,
Okay.
but
You know
then
it is.
still, you'll never forget because it goes baby
know, though.
horse's birthday and then Maggie's birthday.
Then my best friend's birthday. That's great.
Yay! Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for the raids. I know there's two me now that now that he left.
It happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
it happens.
She
So you just
sort
have
of
to deal with it.
duplicates. It's cool.
So yeah, we will be back. I mean, something's gonna happen next week probably. No, stop. Stop your shit.
17 HP.
There is a reason I've not been using my 3rd level spell slots. But
Yeah. So yeah.
There's also a reason Weary has been focusing on keeping Elias up.
Yeah, apparently.
Why is on Twitch?
Hmm?
There's 2 Flints, but then
I know. It's because I'm in
Everybody
his
else is-
space.
no. But
Because
then
I'm in-
there's a Hegan picture,
Oh,
and then we have Kia as Velis.
right, because
Anytime someone
Very,
leaves that
it's
happens.
because yeah, whenever he moved, he was at
I
the
was
beginning of
like-
the list. Sorry.
Because I was looking and I was like, "There's no Maggie. It's her birthday and she's gone."
Oh no, because everything got moved because you're in my spot now. So, damn it,
I'm in the
Dragon Lady. Thank you for the raid. I'm
John
sorry
and
we
I are
just
still here.
ended. But thank you so much. I hope your stream went super well. Hi raiders, welcome to the very end. Sorry, everything got messed up because of Roll20 locations for videos. Yeah, we just finished. We are pausing mid-combat since our DM had a hard stop at midnight our time, which was a few minutes ago. So we we'll be back next week. I'm not sure which campaign, but there'll be D&D most probably, if not Cards Against Humanity.
I think you're back for this game.
Yeah, I think it's this game.
Cool.
But
Yeah,
I
so we'll be
hope
back
so.
next week for this one. Otherwise,
I want to play our game on a day that I'm actually off.
Practical Level 2.
Yeah.
Nice. Yay, pirates.
I hate being late.
So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night at around probably 9 p.m. Eastern for the next engagement of Higurashi no Nakakoroni visual novel. So until then, you all stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and who can we send this raid to? Who can we pass along this raid train? Let's see. How about...
Yeah.
Where did it go? Let me see. As everything gets messed up because I
man.
had to push it over.
I'm
At least
gonna
I
go
can
see
Zephyr
baby,
Strike
so I
now.
will not late
Yeah.
us. I'm gonna hop out.
There you go.
Okay.
Let me send you to...
Yeah, I kind of feel like we should start late because I don't want to go into this combat without a cleric.
Wait, somebody.
Yeah.
I'm okay starting late because I have a horse show next weekend,
Yeah.
and that gives me a little bit more time to get home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully,
I'm
if we
gonna send
start
y'all
late,
to Zamuti,
will probably only be there until
the
like
former
midnight
Twitch
or
Sings
so. But,
wizard.
So
I'll at least
Yeah.
get
but
Yeah,
I mean,
the-
yeah,
the-
I agree. I don't like starting combat with half of our people here when we're in the middle of combat. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree. Starting late may be the best thing.
Thank you all again. There's my raid call.
We can always cards or something before then.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, we can
Send some
card.
love to
Because it's been a
Zamuti.
while since cards.
And-
Tabletop.
Yeah.
Or tabletop.
The tabletop.
I feel like we
I have
have
to
so
jump
many new
into
cards
VR
now
for
that I'm
something.
like-
Yeah, I
in a
mean,
bit,
cards is just sort of
But I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
easy
Thanks
to
so
do
much.
and stop
Well,
whenever.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I was like, tabletop is
Bye.
obviously.
I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be